Today we're going to cover 5 Neighborhood Crip sets in Los Angeles, California. The Neighborhood Crips, or NAC, is a gang alliance that is often symbolized by the Deuce card. This alliance has its roots in Los Angeles and is a reflection of the complex network of affiliations and rivalries that have developed over the years among the various Crip gangs in the region. The original Westside Crips gang served as a foundation for many of the sets associated with the Deuce card.
Fatty started fighting with Tyrone, who named Daryl Oaks. The hood just recruited. He was originally from 9-0. Went around the corner, got the strap, the homie. Came back, he was on the hood like 2 days. He thought it was something more serious than just the fisticuffs, and that's all it was. Who would come back with the heat, tell Fatty move, dump, boom, boom. Killed Tyrone, shoot him in the head and the chest. 60s coming to the hood though. Big Rick, the OG, Babyface, Baby Huey, Motor Mouse, 60s, OGs, killers. Coming to the hood. All they wanted to shoot her, killed their brother. They ain't tripping. And we was like, man, we don't know him. We didn't. He just started claiming the hood in 2 days. A big meeting at the park. The meeting became a big gang fight. At that point, September 27th, 1979, the Rollin 60s and the Eight Trays have been mortal enemies.
In 1979, a significant feud between the Rollin 60s Neighborhood Crips and the Eight Tray Gangster Crips. Neighborhoods east and west of the 110 freeway in Los Angeles find themselves forced to choose sides. Those leaning towards the Rollin 60s adopted the Neighborhood Crips, or NAC, while those aligning with the Eight Tray Gangsters chose the Gangster Crips card. This feud has been responsible for most of the Crip-on-Crip violence in the LA area. These are some Crip sets that align themselves with the Deuce card. The Neighborhood Crips and the Rollin O's, the Rollin Hundreds Crips, the Hard Time Hustler Crips, the East Coast Crips, the Mafia Crips, the Westside Boulevard Crips, the Gear Gang Crips, the Raymond Avenue Crips. Each of these sets has its own unique alliances, rivalries, and history reflecting the complex landscape of the Crip affiliations under the NAC banner. In summary, the Neighborhood Crips Alliance showcases the intricate web of relationships that exist among the street gangs in Los Angeles, underlining the importance of history, loyalty, and geography in shaping these connections. At number 5, we have the 5-5 Neighborhood Crips.
Good, I'ma find no good. Shout out my crap. Time no good. I'm every day. So I get out and get it. Get some
My favorite is the Grape.
Hanging in 7th Street Nickel Boys on hood.
Big bosses and novels and snobs for the hippies with no albums on hood.
Labor.
The 5-5 Neighborhood Crips are a significant African-American street gang that emerged in South Los Angeles, California in the 1970s. Founded as the 5-5 Hustler Crips, this gang lays claim to 55th Street, spanning from Normandy Avenue in the west to Vermont Avenue in the east. This area in South Los Angeles forms the heart of their turf. In the 1980s, the gang was known by the moniker 5-5 Hustler Crips. However, in the early 1990s, they rebranded themselves as the 5-5 Neighborhood Crips, or 5-5 NAC. Following this change, 2 additional factions, the 5-7 Neighborhood Crips and the 5-8 Neighborhood Crips, emerged together. The 5-5-7 Neighborhood Crips and the 5-8 Neighborhood Crips emerged. Together, these factions formed a collective known as the Rollin 50s Neighborhood Crips. Here are some enemies of the 5-5 Neighborhood Crips. The 8 Tray Gangster Crips, the 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips, the 5-9 Hoover Criminals, the 107 Hoover Criminals, the 5 Deuce Broadway Gangster Crips, the 5-Way Treble Gangster Crips, the Van Ness Gangster Brims, the Harvard Park Brims, the Fruittown Brims, and the Black P-Stones. These are some sets that the 5-5 Neighborhood Crips are cool with. The Rollin 60s Neighborhood Crips, the Rollin 90s Neighborhood Crips, the Rollin 40s Neighborhood Crips, the Rollin 30s Harlem Crips. The 5-5 Neighborhood Crips are the largest subset under the umbrella of the Rollin 50s Neighborhood Crips, boasting around over 90 documented members. At number 4, we have the Neighborhood Compton Crips.
Oh, who's this? Let me see the back boots. Yeah. Oh, hood. New corn. Infants.
My son in the land. Yes, sir. We need to figure out.
Hey, give me some of that. Give me some of that. Hey, want some of that. Hey, want some of that. Gang members.
The Eastside Neighborhood Compton Crips are an African-American street gang that have roots in the city of Compton, California, with their founding tracing back to the late 1960s. Their territory extends from Long Beach Boulevard in the west to Pans Avenue in the east, and from Alondra Boulevard in the north to Greenleaf Boulevard in the south. Within this region, the majority of the Neighborhood Compton Crips members are concentrated around the 3700 block of Pans Avenue and Wymore Street. The gang shares its neighborhood with the Compton Vario Tiny Gangsters. The Neighborhood Compton Crips identify themselves under multiple cards, such as the Neighborhood Crips, the Compton Crips, and the Eastside Crips. These are some sets that the Neighborhood Compton Crips beef with. The Southside Compton Crips, the Ward Lane Compton Crips, the Nutty Block Compton Crips, the Hollywood Pyrus, the Limehood Pyrus, the Treetop Pyrus, the Lewis Park Pyrus, the Mob Pyrus, the Cross Atlantic Pyrus, the Compton Vario 70s, the Compton Vario Segundo, and the Compton Vario Tiny Gangsters. At number 3, we have the Rollin 90s Crips.
Look at the sky. Now look back at me. You see why that sky blue? I done told y'all 90 times. The sky's blue because God a Crip, man.
Okay. Oh, 9 Blocc smoking on Daddy. I think I love it here. Hey, gang them, gang them. Hey, make sure. Neighbor. Hey, boom.
Jack, you already know, cuz. I wanna talk your shit. Look, I'm the mother president. This the mayor on her, and we running for the mother election on Neighborhood Crip. And if you don't know, you're gonna know. You feel me, little hoe?
If you don't know, you don't know. Okay, Jesse on.
The Westside Rollin 90s Neighborhood Crips are an African-American street gang operating in the west side of LA, California, in an area just north of Inglewood. Their neighborhood extends from Van Ness to Western Avenue in between Manchester Boulevard and Century Boulevard. Jesse Owens Park is a central point within this area. An internal dispute divided the gang into 2 factions known as the Bankside and Western Avenue. Falling under the Deuce card and Neighborhood Crips card, the Rollin 90s maintain friendly relations with all Rollin O's and Neighborhood Crip sets. These are some sets that they are cool with. The Rollin 30s Harlem Crips, the Rollin 40s Neighborhood Crips, the Rollin 50s Neighborhood Crips, the Rollin 60s Neighborhood Crips, the Rollin 100s Crips, the 6-7 Neighborhood Crips, the 4-6 Neighborhood Crips, all East Coast Crips, Raymond Avenue Crips, West Boulevard Crips, all Hard Top Hustler Crips. The Rollin 90s Crips has many rivals, which include the Eight Tray Gangster Crips, all Hoover Criminals, the 9-9 Mafia Crips, the Main Street Mafia Crips, the 4-Pack, the Gardena Shotgun Crips, the Inglewood Family Gang, the Santana Park Family Bloods, the Avenue Pyru Gang, the Crenshaw Mafia Gang, the Harvard Park Brims, the Fruittown Brims, the Vanessa Gangster Brims, the Black P Stones, the LA Denver Lane Bloods. number 2, we have the Osage Legend Crips.
We could go pour up some mud if you want me to.
I could put you in all white if you want me to. I could do it.
The Osage Legend Crips are a small but long-standing African-American street gang founded in Inglewood, California during the late 1980s. Their influence and interactions in Inglewood have shaped the gang landscape in a city largely dominated by Bloods. One of the first active Crip gangs in Inglewood, the Osage Legend Crips, were named after Osage Street, which runs through the core of their territory. This stretch of turf encompasses 92nd Street to 102nd Street, making Osage Street a symbol of the gang's presence in the area. Being in constant conflict with Inglewood's many blood sets led to the Osage Legend Crips to claim the Neighborhood Crips card. This alignment was sanctioned by their closest allies, the Rollin 60s Neighborhood Crips. Despite this alignment, they are considered rivals to other gangs claiming the Neighborhood Crips card, adding complexity to the relationships within the Crip community. However, the gang is generally friendly towards most Neighborhood Crips, maintaining connections within the broader network of the Crip affiliation. Some rivals of the Osage Legend Crips includes the Inglewood Family Gang, the Santana Park Family Bloods, the Inglewood Neighborhood Pyrus, the Avenue Pyru Gang, the LA Denver Lane Bloods, the Crenshaw Mafia Gang, the Queen Street Bloods, the Center Park Bloods, the 102nd Raymond Avenue Crips, the Mad Gangster Crips, the Tonga Crips Gang, the Eight Tray Gangster Crips, the Hoover Criminals Gang. At number 1, we have the Rollin 60s Neighborhood Crips.
What? You can't hang. On the dead homies, bro. If you ain't gang, you can't hang.
Crips outside. Crips outside. Crips.
Fuck that kind of high park. Tell them again. Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, for the scores. Yeah, score status. Yeah,
Formed in 1976 as a faction of the original West Side Crips gang, the Rollin 60s emerged when the larger gang splintered into more specific groups. The Rollin 60s has various interpretations, one of which suggests that it was inspired by 60th Street, rolling through the entire neighborhood. Their territory spans 27 blocks from Slauson Avenue in the north to Florence Avenue in the south, and from Western Avenue in the east towards Overhill Drive in the west. With an estimated membership over 1,600, the Rollin 60s is the largest African-American street gang in LA County. They are known for sporting Seattle Mariners baseball caps and using various hand gestures such as the deuces with a thumb to represent their affiliation. The Rollin 60s have an extensive list of enemies, with their most heated and long-lasting rivalry beefing with the Eight Tray Gangster Crips. The conflict between the Rollin 60s and the Eight Tray Gangster Crips began with a dispute over a girl in September 1979, which escalated to a fatal shooting. A failed negotiation led to retaliatory murders, resulting in an all-out gang war that persists to this day. This rivalry marked one of the first Crip-on-Crip feuds in history. The Rollin 60s align with most gangs under the Neighborhood Crip and Rollin O's card. However, alliances have shifted over time, with some previous allies now considered enemies, such as the Rollin 40s Neighborhood Crips. Some sets that the Rollin 60s beef with include the Van Ness Gangster Brims, the Inglewood Family Gang, the Santana Park Family Bloods, the Crenshaw Mafia Gang, the Inglewood Neighborhood Pyrus, the Harvard Park Brims, the Fruittown Brims, the Rollin 20s Neighborhood Bloods, the Black Pistols, the 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips, the 5'9" Eight Tray, and 7 Hoover Criminal Gang, and other various Crip sets. The intricate web of alliances, rivalries, origins, and evolutions of the 5 Neighborhood Crip sets, the 5 Neighborhood Crips, the Neighborhood Compton Crips, the Rollin 90s, the Osage Legend Crips, and the Rollin 60s Neighborhood Crips, points a multifaceted picture of gang culture in Los Angeles and its surrounding areas. Each set with its own unique territory, affiliations that contributes to an ever-changing landscape shaped by historical conflicts and shared animosities. The connections between these sets are not merely an alignment under a common card, but a reflection of deeper social, cultural, and geographical realities. This complexity underscores the challenge of understanding and addressing gang violence, demanding a nuanced appreciation of the factors that bind and separate these groups. Together they form a significant chapter in the story of LA, a city marked by its vibrant, often turbulent mosaic of street life. The alliances and rivalries of these sets are not static, but evolve in response to broader changes in the community, providing an ongoing narrative of transformation, conflict, and identity within the urban environment.
AC Mac, AC Mac, we outside. Talking about we don't be outside.
The legacy of the Hoover criminal gangs is a testament to the enduring and complex nature of gang culture in South Los Angeles. From their origins as the Hoover Groovers to their current status, the Hoovers have navigated a landscape marked by rivalry, alliance, and transformation. Their story is not just one of conflict and violence, but also of community identity and survival in the face of socio-economic challenges. As we reflect on the history of the Hoover criminal gangs, we are reminded of the broader narrative of urban life in Los Angeles, where the echoes of the past continue to shape the realities of the present and the possibilities of the future.
We consider ourselves Crips when all we do is kill ourselves Crips when all we do is kill Crips. That's why we turned criminals. That's why we turned criminals and started wearing orange.
The Hoover criminal gangs, known as HCG, are a collective of African-American street gangs rooted in the west side of South Los Angeles, California, named after Hoover Street, which runs between Vermont Avenue and Figueroa Avenue. The Hoovers encompass a variety of individual gangs unified under the Hoover criminal gang banner. The Hoover criminal gangs are recognized for their distinctive use of the Houston Astros theme gear, particularly drawn to the orange hue prominent in the Astros uniforms. This preference for orange has led the Hoover Criminals gang to adopt it as their signature color. Additionally, they are known to wear Houston Astros baseball caps, utilizing the prominent H emblem as a symbol for Hoover. Among the Hoover subsets, the 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips are unique in that they continue to wear blue in conjunction with orange. The Hoover Criminals trace their roots back to the 1960s, initially known as the Hoover Groovers. This group predates the formation of the Crips and was deeply embedded in the local community. The transition from Hoover Groovers to becoming part of the broader Crips alliance was marked by a tragic event: the murder of a founding member's younger brother, for which the West Side Crips were initially blamed. To address the growing tensions, the Hoover Groovers and the West Side Crips convened at St. Andrews Recreation Center, located between Manchester Boulevard and 89th Street. This meeting led to a pivotal alliance between the two, redirecting their suspicions and accusations towards the Figueroa boys. This shift in blame culminated in a violent confrontation, where the leader of the Figueroa boys was beaten at a nightclub in Los Angeles, signifying a significant moment in the history of gang alliances and conflicts in the area. In the mid-1970s, aligning with the West Side Crips led to a significant shift for the Hoovers, who transitioned from being known as the Hoover Groovers to adopting the Crips identity, thus becoming the Hoover Crips. This change marked a deeper integration into the wider network of Crips-affiliated gangs. By 1979, The gang landscape was further complicated by a feud between the Rollin 60s Neighborhood Crips and the Eight Tray Gangster Crips, leading to a division where gangs had to choose sides. Those aligning with the Rollin 60s adopted the Neighborhood Crips or Deuce's identity, while those with the Eight Trays became part of the Gangster Crips faction, also known as Trays. The Hoovers identified with the Gangster Crips, specifically branding themselves as Hoover Gangster Crips. The murder of Raymond Washington, a founding member of the Crips, in August 1979, in a drive-by shooting, added to the turmoil. The East Side Crips accused the Hoover Crips of being behind Washington's death, igniting a fierce and enduring conflict between the Hoover Crips and the East Side Crips, further entrenching the divisions within the Crips alliances and contributing to the complex web of gang rivalries in Los Angeles. In the 1980s, amid the crack epidemic that swept through south-central Los Angeles, the Hoover Gangster Crips emerged as one of the most prominent groups involved in the drug trade. Their association with figures like Ricky Freeway Ross, a known drug lord, underscored their influence in the narcotics market. By the mid-1980s, the group, now feared for their involvement in gun violence, became prime suspects in gang-related shootings, contributing to their notoriety in south-central LA. As the decade progressed, their rivalries with other Crip factions deepened, leading to increased violence and conflict. In a significant shift during the 1990s, the Hoovers distanced themselves from the Crips, adopting criminals in place of Crips in their name. Adopting the monikers ABK, Anybody Killer, or EBK, Everybody Killer, they signaled a willingness to engage in conflict with a broad spectrum of groups, including Bloods, Crips, and even Rolling O's, as indicated by graffiti tags like BK, Blood Killer, CK, Crip Killer, and OK within their territories. This approach mirrored the stance of many Mexican-American street gangs in South Los Angeles, which typically maintain allegiance only to the Mexican Mafia. By declaring an all-out war against not just rival gangs, but potentially anyone, the Hoover Criminals effectively ended many of their previous alliances, isolating themselves further within the gang landscape of Los Angeles. The Hoover Criminals gang, with its roots deeply entrenched in South Los Angeles, has been at the center of numerous conflicts with various Crip factions, including the Raymond Avenue Crips, East Coast Crips, Neighborhood Crips, Rolling Hundreds, and more recently, the Main Street Mafia Crips. A notable feud with the Denver Lane Bloods has even led to the encroachment of Denver Lane Bloods into territories traditionally held by the 112 Hoover Criminals gang. The 1990s saw an escalation in violence, marked by the Anybody Killer ethos, which led to numerous gang-related shootings and contributed to making certain areas in Los Angeles highly dangerous for residents. The Hoover Criminals have also engaged in a lethal conflict with South Los 13, a Sereno gang, further intensifying the gang violence in the region.
Gang competition for drug millions has led two LA gangs, the Crips and the Bloods, to expand to the northwest, battling for turf in Seattle and Portland. Seattle police say that 7 people have been killed there this year in drug gang-related shootings. 387 were killed in such crimes in LA.
In the 1980s, efforts to expand drug operations saw the Hoover Criminals extending their reach beyond Los Angeles to cities like Seattle, Houston, Portland, and Oklahoma City. Interestingly, many Hoover sets outside Los Angeles continue to identify with the Crips rather than the criminals. For instance, the 7-4 Hoover Crips in Seattle, established by George Edward Hendricks, Jr., or OGPNet, became one of the largest Hoover sets outside Los Angeles until his death in 2006. Portland, Oregon, hosts a notably active branch of the Hoover Criminals, including the 112, 107, and 7-4 Hoover sets. Mirroring the rivalry dynamic seen in Los Angeles, particularly against the Rollin 60s Neighborhood Crips. The Hoover Criminals gang has been represented in various forms of media, shedding light on their influence and the broader context of gang culture in South Los Angeles. The 1992 film South Central, produced by Warner Bros. And based on the novel South Central LA Crips by Donald Bakir, draws inspiration from the real-life dynamics of the Hoover Criminals gang. In the film, Glenn Plummer portrays Odd Bobby Johnson, a character associated with the fictional Hoover Street Deuces, a gang that mirrors the actual Hoover Criminals gang. In the music industry, the influence of the Hoover Criminals extends to artists such as Schoolboy Q, a rapper signed to Top Dog Entertainment and affiliated with the Five Deuce Hoover's Criminals gang. Schoolboy Q is part of the rap group Blocc, alongside J-Rock, associated with the Bounty Hunter Bloods, and Kendrick Lamar from Compton, California. In the heart of South Los Angeles, on the streets bordered by 43rd and Hoover, a significant chapter in the city's history unfolded. The Eight Tray Hoover Criminals gang, originating in the vibrant yet tumultuous 1970s, marked the beginning of a new era in the streets of West Side LA. Born from the spirited Hoover Groovers, the Eight Tray Hoovers were pivotal in shaping the landscape of gang affiliations in LA. Their alliance with a formidable group led by Tookie, known as the West Side Crips, catalyzed a transformation, rebranding the Hoovers into a Crips faction. This evolution saw the Eight Tray Hoover Crips emerging as a significant force, embodying the complexities of street alliances and rivalries. The 1990s were a turning point. The Hoover Crips found themselves amidst an escalating conflict with the Neighborhood Crips, a feud that would redefine their identity. Transitioning from Crips to criminals, they charted a new path, distinct from their beginnings. Yet, this era brought challenges, leading to a decline in their presence by the mid-90s. Now, the once formidable Eight Tray Hoovers have receded into the backdrop of South LA's history, their activities fading into silence. But the echoes of their legacy offer a window into the complex tapestry of the city's gang history. The Eight Tray Hoover Criminals gang story is also one of intricate rivalries and fleeting alliances. Once embroiled in bitter disputes with groups like the Rolling 40s Crips, Rolling 30s Harlem Crips, and the First Street East Coast Crips, their narrative is a testament to the ever-changing dynamics of gang affiliations in Los Angeles.
Nigga, I walk through the turf. Oh my Hoover. Watch this car, cuz. Okay. Oh yeah, we in the turf. Walking through the hood. Oh, shit. My whole life around gangsters. Don't hang around nothing that ain't like us. 24 make them put away. Gang.
Finch, on Hoover. Look, the real looks outside on hers. On Hoover. Hey.
Welcome to our exploration of the Five Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips, a significant presence on the streets of South Los Angeles, California, originating in the 1970s around 52nd and Hoover Street. This group has left an indelible mark on the community and the broader landscape of gang affiliations in LA. The Five Deuce Hoovers carved their niche in a vibrant yet challenging era, distinguishing themselves with blue and orange colors, symbols of their Crips affiliation and Hoover heritage. Unique among Hoover subsets, they retained the Crips identity, standing out in a complex tapestry of street affiliations. The 1980s saw the Five Deuce Hoovers and the 7-4 Hoovers at the center of South Central's drug trade, operating numerous drug houses and allegedly amassing significant wealth. This period underscored the group's influence and the challenges faced by the community during a tumultuous time in LA's history. The influence of the Five Deuce Hoovers extended far beyond Los Angeles, with subsets emerging in cities like Houston, Washington, New York, and New Jersey. In the intricate web of gang dynamics, the five Deuce Hoovers have forged alliances with groups like the Trouble Gangster Crips and the Broadway Gangster Crips, while also facing opposition from rivals including the 5'9" East Coast Crips, Rollin 50's Neighborhood Crips, and others. In this episode, we're taking a closer look at the 5'9" Hoover Criminals gang, a pivotal group in the tapestry of South Los Angeles' street dynamics. Originating in the 1970s, the 5'9" Hoover Criminals have been a defining presence in the area, evolving from their roots as a subset of the expansive Hoover Criminals gang. The 5'9" Hoovers have crafted a distinctive identity, often symbolized by their innovative use of 5'9" to replace the OO in Hoover, a detail frequently mirrored in street art and tags across their territory. This signature style marks their influence and claims their space between the 5 Deuce Hoover Crips and the 7-4 Hoover Criminals gang. Strategically located between these significant factions, the 5'9" Hoovers navigate a complex web of alliances and rivalries. Their solidarity with the Hoover Criminals gang network forms the backbone of their alliances. However, the landscape of their rivalries is vast, including intense feuds with groups like the 6 Deuce East Coast Crips, 6 Deuce Harvard Park Brims, and the Rolling 40s Neighborhood Crips, painting a vivid picture of the ongoing tensions that define much of South LA's gang. Today, we're focusing on the 7-4 Hoover Criminals gang, also known as the 7-4 Hoover Criminals gang, a significant presence in South Central Los Angeles for over 3 decades. Originally known as the 7-4 Hoover Crips up until the early 1990s, the 7-4 Hoovers underwent a transformation, aligning more closely with the Hoover Criminals gang. This change marked a new chapter for the group, emphasizing their distinct identity within the larger Hoover network. Situated around 74th and Hoover Street, the gang, affectionately known as the Bay Bays, has become a formidable force in the area. Their long-standing presence and activities have shaped much of the neighborhood's dynamics, making them the third largest subset within the Hoover Criminals gang. During the 1980s, the 7-4 Hoovers, alongside the 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips, were central figures in South Central's drug trade, reportedly generating substantial revenue. This period highlighted the gang's influence, but also brought increased scrutiny from law enforcement. The complex tapestry of gang alliances and rivalries paints a vivid picture of life in South Central. The 7-4 Hoovers maintain alliances with groups like the Shotgun Crips and the Insane Crips, while navigating hostilities with several other gangs, including the Rolling 60s Neighborhood Crips and the 7-6 East Coast Crips, among others.
Fucking stay low, baby. We in this mother. We in this mother. Yeah, we in this mother.
Don't land on that. Hold on. Oh,
it's so hood. Look it up. Yeah, that's so hood. Yeah, gang in the building.
Big mad ass anything.
That's so hood. See how gang come through the building on Hoover Street.
Go with blue. Go with blue.
Oh, that's so hood. Go to Loke in the cut. We got Lokes right here. Yeah, homies, a couple Lokes.
Today, we dive into the story of the 8 Tray Hoover Criminals gang, a prominent group in the tapestry of South Los Angeles' complex gang dynamics. This group, with over 3 decades of history, stands as the largest subset within the Hoover Criminals gang umbrella. Emerging from the streets around 83rd and Hoover, the 8 Tray Hoovers, nicknamed the Rascals, have carved out a significant presence in their neighborhood. Their journey from being known as the 8 Tray Hoover Crips to the current Hoover Criminals gang reflects a broader narrative of change and adaptation within gang cultures. The 8 Tray Hoovers have managed to assert their dominance in an area fraught with rivalries and conflicts, maintaining a strong hold despite the adversities posed by their numerous rivals. Their story is a stark reminder of the challenges faced by communities caught in the crossfire of gang violence. In the intricate web of gang affiliations, the 8 Tray Hoover Criminals maintain alliances with groups like the Shotgun Crips, uniting against common adversaries such as the Rollin 60s Neighborhood Crips. This landscape of alliances and rivalries underscores the complex social structures that govern life in South.
EST with no V-neck, Norman I slide, here's smutty gang man. Hoover. Back on the amigos, this Deuce to get loose, I make a whole pool juice.
Shots, I'm still not easing up, mad ass anything. Newbie, I'ma goof you, know some lows bound to shoot. Orange Chuck, get the boot. Slime with you right or wrong, I call you my brother.
Look at these boys. Faster ski ski.
I'm a bang my little death threats. Been thugging for 16 years and ain't left yet. So you know you can't wet me. I keep them coming my on my body like crazy.
We explore the 9 Deuce Hoover Criminals gang, also known as the Doulos, a notable subset of the expansive Hoover Criminals gang network in Los Angeles. With origins tracing back to the 1970s, this group has established its presence in the area around 92nd and Hoover Street, marking a significant chapter in the story of South Los Angeles. Initially known as the 9 Deuce Hoover Crips, this group underwent a transformation alongside other Hoover sets, evolving into the Hoover Criminals gang. Despite being smaller in size, their impact and activity levels have been notable in the history of gang dynamics within South Central LA. The 9 Deuce Hoovers maintain strong ties with fellow Hoover subsets, particularly the 9-4 Hoover Criminals gang, with who they share a close alliance termed Doulos Down. Their history is also marked by intense rivalries with other gangs, including the Rollin 90s West Coast Crips and various Gangster Crips sets, highlighting the intricate and often volatile landscape of gang affiliations in the area.
Danny, Hoover Street though.
It's the set.
Yeah, nigga.
Yeah. Don't get the set.
Yeah. Boo-boo. Give me a picture, bro. Give me a picture too.
I can't take no picture. We out of here.
Hey, stop. Hey.
Today, we dive into the history of the 9-4 Hoover Criminals gang, also known as the Lowdowns. This group is a prominent subset of the larger Hoover Criminals gang, with roots deeply embedded in the streets of West Side South Los Angeles, around 94th Street. Emerging in the 1970s as the 9-4 Hoover Crips, this gang carved out a notorious reputation for violence in the 80s and early 90s. Their story is a stark reflection of the broader shifts in gang identity within LA, transitioning from Crips to Criminals as part of a larger movement within the Hoover sets. The 94 Hoovers have built strong alliances within the Hoover family, particularly with the 9 Deuce Hoover criminal gang, united under the banner of Doulos Down. Their history is also marked by intense rivalries, standing against groups like the 9-8 Main Street Mafia Crips and various Gangster Crips sets, along with East Coast Crips and Neighborhood Crips. These conflicts and alliances paint a complex picture of gang dynamics in South LA.
He was a 107 Hoover Crip. 107 Hoover Crip. Not ever go against that. 107 Hoover Crip. We stand firm, we're a family. We watch each other's back. Say low. So 107 is about. Say low. Say
low.
Say low. Go, go.
7-Eleven, yo.
Everybody out here that fell up under the guidance of 107, you've been warned. This is Crip or die.
Females and up.
You have been warned.
Home boys,
home girls.
Young life.
If you're not with it, you shouldn't even be here.
Get off my life, that bad. Fuck sissies, nigga. Sissies, oh killer. Yeah, homie, nigga. That. Get off my life, punk. Dead homies. Sissies.
Fuck y'all talking about what's a 107? Clock. I'm frontline orange in y'all section. 100 West Side Hoover.
Public week, take a chance, I'ma make it. If you need some treatment, I'm your doctor, you my patient. If you acting up, turn around and get the spanking. We not even for it, but I'll fly you out to Vegas, put you in the room, and that can be.
The 107 Hoover Criminals Gang, also known as 107 Groove Gang or Cellos, and formerly known as 107 Hoover Crips Gang, are a long-standing African-American criminal street gang located on the west side of South Central Los Angeles, California. The 107 Hoover Criminals are an active subset of the larger Hoover Criminals gang umbrella. The 107 Hoover Criminals gang originated in the 1970s, around 107th Street and Hoover Street, between Vermont Avenue and Figueroa Avenue. They often refer to themselves as 107 Groove Gang to pay homage to the original Hoover Groovers. However, the Hoover Groovers eventually turned Crips, Hoover Gang Crips, and later turned Criminals, Hoover Criminals Gang. The 107 Hoover Criminals Gang are allies of all Hoover criminal gangs, especially the 112 Hoover Criminals Gang. They are rivals of the Underground Crips and the Bud Long Gangster Crips, as well as the 104 Hustler Crips. Their main blood rival is the larger Denver Lane Bloods. In the last year or two, OGs from 107 Hoover returned to the streets from incarceration and reinstated the Sets Crip identity. The 107 Hoovers are now freshly 107 Hoover Crips, making them the second last Hoover/Crip gang.
High speed chase, do you know how to lose the cops? Our helicopters, do you know how to lose the chop?
Join us as we delve into the history of the 112 Hoover Criminals Gang, also known as the Lay Lows, a group with deep roots in the west side of South Los Angeles. As a subset of the larger Hoover Criminals Gang, the 112 Hoovers have been a part of the city's complex gang narrative since the 1970s, originating around 112th Street. This gang has weathered the decades, evolving while maintaining its presence in the community. Their journey from the original Hoover Crips to their current identity as Hoover Criminals reflects significant shifts within LA's gang landscape, strongly allied with fellow Hoover sets, especially the 107 Hoover Criminals Gang. The 112 Hoovers have navigated the challenges of gang life with notable solidarity. Their long-standing rivalry with the Denver Lane Bloods, among others, underscores the fraught relations that have historically characterized South Central's gang dynamics. These are some Hoover rappers from all over the United States: Schoolboy Q, LA 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips, Jap 5, LA 107 Hoover Criminals, Young Threat, LA 8 Tray Hoover Criminals, Trey Way 6K, LA 8 Tray Hoover Criminals, Swift Chapo, LA 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips, King Trell, LA 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips, Hope, LA 9-4 Hoover Criminals, Heartless, LA 7-4 Hoover Criminals, Alshon Martin, LA 9 Deuce Hoover Criminals, Shorty, Baltimore 7-4 Hoover Criminals, NFL Cartel Bo, Houston 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips. Doughboy Sauce. Houston 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips. 0. Houston 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips. King Kush. Brooklyn 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips. IAs. Fort Worth 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips. Young Coast Tomato. Brooklyn 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips. 5th Ward JP. Houston 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips. Ink Jack Boy. Mississippi 9 4 Hoover Criminals. 4500 New. Louisiana 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips. Hugh Hitter. Mississippi 9 4 Hoover Criminals. The legacy of the Hoover criminal gangs is a testament to the enduring and complex nature of gang culture in South Los Angeles. From their origins as the Hoover Groovers to their current status, the Hoovers have navigated a landscape marked by rivalry, alliance, and transformation. Their story is not just one of conflict and violence, but also of community identity and survival in the face of socio-economic challenges. As we reflect on the history of the Hoover criminal gangs, we are reminded of the broader narrative of urban life in Los Angeles, where the echoes of the past continue to shape the realities of the present and the possibilities of the future.
Southside, Rollin 40 Crip Street Gang, you know what I mean? Make sure that get put on the next skit, man. You know what I mean? What's that way?
The Rolling 40s Neighborhood Crips are the second largest Crip gang in San Diego, primarily consisting of African American members. Based on the east side of Southeast San Diego, they originated in the 1970s around the areas of 47th Street and Market Street, and also claimed 41st, 45th, and 47th Streets in the Troyes View and Mount Hope neighborhoods. The gang was founded by a member of the original Rolling 40s Crips from Los Angeles who moved to the southeast district of San Diego. Gompers Park, located at Hilltop Drive and Carolina Lane, is a well-known gathering spot for the Rolling 40s Neighborhood Crips.
Hey! Westside Rollin!
3-0. 30 Crip and 20 Crip.
The West Coast Crips are the oldest and largest Crip gang in San Diego, with origins dating back to the early 1970s. Originally known as the West Coast Mafia Crips, they are an African-American street gang based in the Stockton/Central neighborhood of Southeast San Diego, California. Founded in 1972, the gang has deep connections to South Los Angeles, similar to many African-American gangs in the area. The West Coast Crips are the San Diego chapter of the East Coast Crips from South Central Los Angeles. They are divided into two main cliques, the West Coast Rolling 20s, 25th, 27th, and 29th Streets in Market Street, and the West Coast Rolling 30th through 33rd Streets in Market Street. Vista Crips are a multi-ethnic street gang based on the north side of the Linda Vista community in San Diego, California. They share the Linda Vista area with the tiny Oriental Crips and Linda Vista 13, a Latino gang. The Linda Vista Crips originated near the Linda Vista Recreation Center, a community park located on Levant Street between Genevieve Avenue and Linda Vista Road. The tiny Oriental Crips are an Asian Laotian American street gang primarily based on the west side of Linda Vista and parts of Mira Mesa in San Diego, California. The gang mainly consists of Laotian members, but also includes Hmong, Vietnamese, and Khmer descendants. In Linda Vista, they share territory with the Linda Vista Crips and Linda Vista 13. The tiny Oriental Crips have been active in San Diego for over 20 years, with around 50 to 60 documented members. They often align with African-American street gangs under the Crip affiliation. The tiny Oriental Crips have a presence outside San Diego as well, with members in places such as Sacramento, Arizona, Temecula Valley, and Riverside County.
At number 5, we have the Southside Compton Crips.
They talking about shit, ganger.
Oh my guys. Yeah, man. Oh my man. We ain't. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
Oh yeah, real gang.
The Southside Compton Crips, hailing from Compton, California, control the largest territory in the city. Their domain extends from Alondra Boulevard in the north down to Greenleaf Boulevard in the south, and is framed by Santa Fe Avenue to the west and Long Beach Boulevard to the east. Parts of this territory overlap with that of the Compton Variotopas and Compton Vario 70s, both of whom are considered allies. The Southside Compton Crips maintains alliances with several other Crip sets, including the Nutty Block Compton Crips, the Atlantic Drive Compton Crips, the Ducky Hood Compton Crips, the Ward Lane Compton Crips, the original Swamps Compton Crips, and the original Front Hood Compton Crips. This gang gained national attention in 1996 when Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, a Southside Compton Crip member who was suspected of being involved in the murder of the rapper Tupac Shakur. Since that incident, the Southside Compton Crips have found themselves in an ongoing intense rivalry with various Paru sets, such as the Mob Parus, the Elm Street Parus, the Little Park Parus, the Cross Atlantic Parus, and the Fruitown Parus. The conflicts of Southside Compton Crips extend even to other Crip factions. They have been in disputes with the Santana Block Compton Crips, the Palmer Block Compton Crips, the Kelly Park Compton Crips, the Neighborhood Compton Crips, the Pocket Hood Compton Crips, and the Anzac Grape Compton Crips, and more recently with several gangs associated with the Rollin Hundreds Crip card, including the Underground Crips, the 113 original Blocc Crips, and the 104 Gangster Crips. At number 4, we have the Santana Block Crips.
Eastside Santana. What they call you, man?
Call me Reg.
Reg?
Yeah.
You OG Reg?
Yeah, original.
Original gangster, huh?
Right, that's gang.
All right.
Most gangs don't have a particular leader, but they have a group of guys who are considered more or less their leadership. The fellow that you just mentioned is a very active gang member. He lives and eats gang banging. He's been arrested over 20 times since he's been an adult, and I think that's only been the last 2 or 3 years, and has an equal record prior when he's a juvenile.
I don't call myself a leader. I don't like nobody saying I got boys, because I don't like that. You know, but somebody have to do the thinking, you know. And I'm the only one around, don't get high, don't smoke dope or nothing, so I figure I can do the thinking.
Like that. And all that. Yeah.
Tiny gutter act.
Yes. State your name, gangster. Hey, state. Yeah, and all that. Lock, what's the deal, cuz? Yeah, we out here. Hey, state your name, gangster. Yeah, for sure. State your name, gangster. What's happening?
The Eastside Santana Block Compton Crips emerged as a prominent African-American street gang on the east side of Compton, California in the late 1970s. They have noteworthy status of being one of the oldest Crip gangs to form in East Compton. Originally called the Santana Boys in 1976, with founding members including Kim Bullet Tate, the gang underwent transformation. By 1978, under the guidance of Ken Yogi Tate and Rob Franklin, several sets around the Oaks Park area united under the Santana Block Crips name. The murder of Bullet in April 1978 at the hands of a Lewis Park Paru member marked a turning point for the gang, leading to their becoming one of Compton's most active Crip factions. They embarked on hostilities with the Lewis Park Parus and other Paru sets, such as the Elm Street Parus, the Cross Atlantic Parus, the Fruitown Parus, and the Mob Parus throughout the late 1970s and early 1980s. Recognized as one of the earliest Crip sets to form in Compton, the Santana Block Compton Crips have developed a significant list of enemies, including the Atlantic Drive Compton Crips, the Southside Compton Crips, the original Front Hood Compton Crips, the original Swamp Compton Crips, the Carver Park Compton Crips, the Acacia Block Compton Crips, the Spooktown Compton Crips, the Farm Dog Compton Crips, the Ward Lane Compton Crips, the Ducky Hood Compton Crips, the Nutty Block Compton Crips, and the Motor Park Compton Crips. Also the Park Village Compton Crips, and the Compton Vario Tortilla Flat, and also the Compton Vario Logger 36. On the other hand, the Santana Block Compton Crips maintains allies with the groups like the Pocket Hood Compton Crips, the Palmer Note Gangster Crips, the Palmer Block Compton Crips, and the Anzac Grape Compton Crips. They are also known to have relationships with the Compton Vario. At number 2, we got the Carver Park Compton Crips.
million. Okay, alright. Okay, here we have it. The Carvers. We got the Carvers. Okay, and right there. Ladies on there.
The Eastside Carver Park Compton Crips, an African-American street gang, are based in the Willowbrook district of Los Angeles, California. Although they identify as Compton Crips, their actual location is in Willowbrook, Los Angeles County, just to the north of Compton itself. Their domain ranges from 117th Street in the north down to El Segundo in the south, and between Central Avenue in the west and Compton Avenue in the east. A small part of their territory does extend into Compton's municipal boundaries on the south side. Among their allies are fellow Crips factions like the Mono Park Compton Crips, the Grape Street Watts Crips, the Kelly Park Compton Crips, the Nutty Block Compton Crips, the Southside Compton Crips, and the Home Street Watts Crips. They find themselves in rivalry with other Crip groups, including the Pocket Hood Compton Crips, the PJ Watts Crips, and the Santana Block Compton Crips. Relations with the Compton Power Rules are also tense, particularly with the factions such as the Westside Power Rule, the 135 Power Rule, the Campanella Park Power Rules, and the Village Town Power Rules. Also the Bounty Hunters.
Access to special perks.
8-7 Gangster Crips. Hello everyone and welcome back to All Scoops Media. Today, we're going to be discussing the Eastside 8-7 Gangster Crips, a long-standing and active African-American street gang based in Los Angeles, California.
My neighborhood is 8-7 Gangsters, where I came of. The 8-4 Main Streets is around there, 9-8 Main Streets around there. 8-4 Swans is around there, which is Bloods. 7-7 Swans, 7-9 Swan. I mean the East Coast, like Q102 East Coast, 9-7 East Coast. 8-8 Avalon.
We slide on group. What's up, nigga, don't cuss me. I ain't no Crip, no blood. I'm moving street.
Most hated gang, we on the top list. I love all my bros. I got some locs off the folk. Been trooping for the long shot.
The 8-7 Gangster Crips were formed after a war between the Rollin 60s Neighborhood Crips and 8 Tray Gangster Crips broke out in 1979. The gang's territory lies between Broadway Street in the west, San Pedro Street in the east, Manchester Avenue in the north, and 92nd Street in the south. The 8-7 Gangster Crips fall under the Gangster Crips, East Side Crips, and Coast Crips Guard and have a close relationship with the 9-7 Gangster Crips, which has lasted for over 20 years. They are also allied with the East Coast Crips, who are part of the rival Deuce Guard, along with the 7 Tray Gangster Crips. This partnership is referred to as the Moving Coast to Coast Alliance. Despite being part of the Trey Guard, the 8-7 Gangster Crips have friendly relationships with other gangs such as the 4-Pack, Rollin 50s Neighborhood Crips, and Rollin 90s Neighborhood Crips. This is due to their common enemies, including the Hoover Criminals. However, their partnership with Deuce allies is frowned upon by other Trey gangs and has resulted in several Gangster Crip rivals. The 87 Gangster Crips have a deep-rooted hatred for the Hoover Criminals, who are the main ally of the Gangster Crips against the Neighborhood Crip gangs. This has caused the 8-7 Gangster Crips to be generally not accepted by other gangs under the Gangster Crips Guard. Their fierce rivalry with the 8-8 Avalon Garden Crips, which began in 2003, has resulted in many gang-related homicides on both sides. Other Trey gang rivals of the 8-7 Gangster Crips include the 8 Tray Gangster Crips, 5 Deuce Broadway Gangster Crips, 5-1 Trouble Gangster Crips, 8 Tray Hoover Criminals Gang, 9 Deuce Hoover Criminals Gang, 9-4 Hoover Criminals Gang, and 8-4 Main Street Mafia Crips. They also have rivalries with the LA Denver Lane Bloods and Family Swan Bloods.
A family under arrest. 40-year-old Freddie Trone, no longer a fugitive, caught by police in Las Vegas. The LAPD says he was the getaway driver, and his 17-year-old son was the gunman who earlier this month shot and killed rapper PNB Rock while he was eating lunch at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in South LA with his girlfriend. The LAPD believes the duo was after the rapper's expensive jewelry and may have been tipped off to his whereabouts by a social media post.
On September 12th, P&B Rock, a popular rapper from Philadelphia, whose real name was Rakim Allen, was tragically shot and robbed at a Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles restaurant in Los Angeles. One of the suspects is from the 8-7 Gangster Crips. As the news of his untimely passing spread, many of his colleagues in the music industry expressed their condolences. However, a heated debate regarding the responsible parties erupted on social media. On September 28th, the Los Angeles Police Department announced that they had made 2 arrests the previous day in connection with the murder. One of the suspects was a minor who was taken into custody on suspicion of murder, while the other suspect, identified as Chantal Trone, 32, was arrested on suspicion of being an accessory to murder. On the morning of September 28th, the police made a public appeal for information on an 8-7 Gangster Crip named Freddie Lee Trone, who they believed was involved in the rapper's murder. The following day, on September 29th, the authorities announced that charges had been filed against 3 individuals, with Freddie Lee Trone identified as the father of the minor suspect. That's all for today.
Like that. And even if y'all ain't structured, I'm still willing to with y'all. But if y'all more structured, it's easier for me to and give y'all more opportunities to get money, because there's money out here, cuz, on the other side and the right side. And it is what it is, cuz.
This is a strap. It's a gun. AK-47, KT, 9mm, 9mm handgun, 4.5.
We can't deal with you. Hey, what I saying now?
Long Beach, California, a city with a history that stretches back to the Tongva people and has evolved through the Spanish and Mexican periods to become a modern economic hub, is not only known for its significant contributions to the port and oil industries, but also for its cultural richness, including landmarks like the RMS Queen Mary and the Aquarium of the Pacific. Amidst this backdrop of historical and cultural wealth, Long Beach has also witnessed the emergence and growth of various gang factions, notably among them, the Crips. Originating in Los Angeles in the late 1960s, the Crips have since branched out into numerous sets, each with its unique identity, yet united under the overarching Crip affiliation. In Long Beach, these sets have etched their territories and narratives into the city's social fabric, with no presence of blood sets in the city, further emphasizing the dominance of Crip sets in the area. The Rolling 80s West Coast Crips are mainly an African-American gang on the west side of Long Beach, California. They started around the Springdale West Apartments at Spring Street and Santa Fe in Long Beach. They are part of the larger Rollin Crips group and are connected to the Neighborhood Crips. The West Coast Crips like to wear clothes from the Dallas Cowboys football team, along with the usual blue color that Crips wear. They were known for being very violent in the 1980s and 1990s. SD the MC is a rapper from West Long Beach, and he's connected to the Rolling 80s Crips gang. He's well known for being part of the LBC movement in 2015, which Snoop Dogg started. This music project brought together rappers from different areas in Long Beach that usually don't get along, like the Rolling 20s Crips, Insane Crips, and Brick Boy Crips. The Rollin 80s group is friends with several other groups like the Rolling 20s Crips, Rolling 30s Harlem Crips, Rolling 60s Crips, Rolling 90s Crips, and all the Neighborhood Crips gangs. The Mafia Crips, also called the Double M Gang, are a group mostly made up of African-American members and are found in North Long Beach, California. Their area is around a street called Ante Street, sitting between 2 avenues named Obispo and Downey. They are known as a North Side gang because their area is in the northern part of Long Beach. Members of the Mafia Crips like to wear hats from the Milwaukee Brewers baseball team because the hats have a big M on them, which stands for the first letter of their gang's name. The Mafia Crips say they are from the north side because they are located in the northern part of Long Beach. They are part of a bigger Crip umbrella called the Mafia Crips, which also includes other groups like the Boulevard Mafia Crips, the Blue Gate Mafia Crips, and the Beachtown Mafia Crips. Even though this group is smaller than some other gangs in Long Beach, they are known for being very active in the northern area of the city. The Mafia Crips are friends with all the groups that are part of the Mafia Crips, like the Boulevard Crips, Main Street Mafia Crips, and the 99 Watts Mafia Crips. They also have a special friendship with the original Hood Crips and the Boulevard Mafia Crips, and together they call themselves MOB, which stands for Mafia Original Boulevard.
No far game. Where we at, bro? Where we at, bro? Where we at? Hey, where we at, bro? Where we at?
Y'all know we at.
Where we at?
Look around.
We at Ramona Parks.
The North Side Brick by Crips are a small Crip gang mainly made up of African American members in North Long Beach, California. Their main area is around the Carmelitos housing projects on Viawanda Avenue. The Brick by Crips have two main sets, called the Carmelitos and 52nd Street, which is also known as the 5 Deuce Brick by Crips or the 50s. They hang out in a part of Long Beach often called Uptown Long Beach. This area includes places like Bixby Knolls and California Heights. Members of this gang like to wear clothes with the Boston Red Sox logos to show they are part of the gang. Jubiloke is a rapper from North Long Beach. He's part of the Brick by Crips gang. He also worked with Snoop Dogg on a music project called the LBC Movement. This project brings together rappers from different areas of Long Beach, including the Rolling 20s Crips, Rollin ADS, and the Insane Crips, to make music together. The Brick by Crips are allies of the Mafia Crips and the Carver Park Compton Crips. The North Side Original Hood Crips are a well-known Crip gang in North Long Beach, California. They started in the early to mid-1980s around the area of 60th Way and White Avenue, near Artesia Boulevard and 69th Street. The original Hood Crips share their area with the Boulevard Mafia Crips. This gang's members like to wear blue and gold colors. They have groups based on streets like 69th, 68th, and 67th, all around Butler Avenue. The Hood gang is friends with the Mafia Crips, Boulevard Mafia Crips, and the Brick by Crips. Together, they are known as Mob.
Suck, huh?
Holding out, huh?
Look, little homies up to no good.
I know you ain't talking, bro.
LONGBACH. I'm from the city that all slobs hate. I'm from Strong Beach, where we kick it deep on the west side on 32nd Street.
I'm rocking back to back, leaving a narrow track for perpetrating MCs to try to pick up the slack. You got a ways to go before you blend with the flow like in a ticky got jacked. Now I'm rocking it back to back.
The Sons of Samoa Crips is a group mainly made up of Polynesian and Samoan members that started in East Long Beach, California in the early to mid-1980s. They are one of the first Polynesian gangs to be in Long Beach. The Sons of Samoa Crips were shaped by other street gangs and chose to join the Crips. They have smaller sets within them called East Side Dogs 10th Street, Suicidal Gang 15th Street, and West Side Seawees Trey Life 32nd Street. Their area goes from Wardlow Street to Willow Street, and from Webster Avenue to the 710 freeway. They are friends with the Inglewood Tonga Crips gang. They also get along with groups called the United Samoan Organization and the Asian Boys Crips. The East Side Long Beach Filthy Crips is a predominantly African American gang located on the east side of Long Beach, particularly around 19th Street and Locust. The North Side Boulevard Crips, also just called Boulevard Crips, are a Crip gang from North Long Beach, California. They started in the early 1980s. They're also known as a dead-end gang because their main area is on streets that end in dead ends near Long Beach Boulevard. The Boulevard Mafia Crips, first called the Boulevard Boy Crips or Boulevard Boys, are one of the oldest and biggest Crip gangs in North Long Beach. They have different sections known as cliques, like 68th Street, 68th Way, 69th Street, and 69th Way. All these sets together are often called the 60s. In the 1990s, the group changed their name by removing Boy and adding Mafia to become part of the Mafia Crips. Members of the Boulevard Mafia Crips like to wear light blue bandanas and baseball caps from the Boston Red Sox with a B on them, which stands for Boulevard. The Boulevard Mafia Crips are friends with the Mac Mafia Crips and the original Hood Crips. They have a special friendship called MOB, which stands for Mafia Original Boulevard, and this includes the Brick By Crips too.
Yo, God, I'm recording you. Open that up. Good. Hey.
That's crazy.
Dude. It's red inside, good. Hey! Let me see what it says. Let me see what it says. Harry 30th birthday, little late. On this Asian boy. Yo! Don't drink that. Don't drink that.
The first Asian boys gang started in Long Beach, California in the late 1980s. It was made up of people who came from countries in Southeast Asia. The people who started the Asian boys in Long Beach were Cambodian refugees who had trouble with another group called the East Side Longos during the 1980s. There's some debate about how the gang really started because it was more like a bunch of smaller groups coming together rather than just one new group starting. The Cambodian part of the Asian boys is especially well known and has its own unique place within the larger Crips gang group, partly because the members come from a different background. The Naughty Nasty Gangster Crips are mostly an African-American gang in North Long Beach, California, around Ramona Park. They started in the early 1990s along Obispo Avenue, between Artesia Boulevard and Poppy Street. The Naughty Nasty Crips mainly wear brown and are part of the Trey Gangster Crips group. Rappers Vince Staples and Joey Fats, who grew up in this gang's area, are part of a music group called the Cutthroat Boys. The third member of their group, Aston Matthews, is linked to the Pyrus gang. The Naughty Nasty Gangster Crips are allies of gangs under the Trey Gangster Crips.
C-Dog, cuz. Ain't about nothing but the homeboy C-Dog being sent off the right way, cuz, the appropriate way. Me as a dub, I watch the hood and I watch get sent off the right way and how we don't really show no love until dead. That's alive need to get that real love. That's a real G homie, cuz, that need to get love. So what I figured was today we could come together and show some love, and be out here organized and get cuz some love and send him off the right way.
Yeah, Rollin. Little homie in the cut.
Alright, do it, Brick.
Police, down. 985 Crip, we outside, nigga.
You can put on some jeans.
That shit crazy, ain't it, man? Alright, they got 2.0 junk off that.
They got Tiny over here acting like ass though, you know what I'm saying?
The Rolling 20s Crips are a big Crip gang in East Side Long Beach, California, mostly found south of 21st Street, east of Long Beach Boulevard, and west of Orange Avenue. They like to wear black and gold, the main colors of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New Orleans Saints football teams. Members of the Rolling 20s Crips often get tattoos of the Steelers logo, which makes it easy for other gangs to recognize them. They have different groups based on streets like 21st, 20th, 19th, 17th, 15th, 11th, and 10th. The Rolling 20s Crips became very famous worldwide, especially in Long Beach, because they were mentioned in the news a lot and being linked to the famous rapper Snoop Dogg. Other well-known musicians connected to this gang include Nate Dogg, Daz from the Dog Pound, Goldie Loke from the East Siders, and C-Note and Domino, also known as Genuine Draft, from the group Bloods and Crips. The Rolling 20s Crips are friends with another group called the Rolling 80s West Coast Crips, who are in the west side of Long Beach. At first, the 20s Crips and another set, called the Insane Crips, were close and acted as one big team. But in the 1980s, they stopped being allies because they disagreed over who should control the area south and north of 21st Street. The Rolling 20s wanted the south side, and the Insanes wanted the north.
Nothing at all.
The Insane Crips, that's the most notorious gang to come off the east side of Long Beach.
Hey, look, Fresh out, not even been out, but he been out. Do you hear me?
Only been out for 60 days.
This is not 60 days worth of work. This is 5. This is 2 days worth of work. You hear me? And let them know something, son.
The Insane Crips gang is the biggest African-American gang on the east side of Long Beach, California. They started around 21st Street and Lewis Avenue in central Long Beach and spread to nearby areas. This gang is part of a group called Trey's, and they like to wear clothes with the Oakland Raiders' black and gray colors. The Insane Crips have 3 main groups. The first one, called the Big Insane Crips, has the original members and is based on 21st Street. The second group, the Young Foundation Crew, came next and has members from the second wave. The third group, known as the Baby Insanes or Baby Insane Crips, started in the early 1990s on 23rd Street in Long Beach. The Baby Insane group within the Insane Crips likes wearing Cleveland Indians gear, especially in red. A famous rapper, Trey from the East Siders, which includes Snoop Dogg and Goldie Loc. Newer rappers from this gang include Savvy Third and DW Flames. The Insane Crips also created a subgroup called 21st Young Guns Crips in Lancaster, California. The Insane Crips and the Rolling 20s Crips used to be close friends in Long Beach, connected by their neighborhood and families. But in the 1980s, disagreements and arguments broke their friendship, leading to fights between both groups. The city of Long Beach, with its rich history, culture, and economic prowess, also hosts a complex network of Crip sets, each contributing to the intricate mosaic of gang dynamics within the city. From the Mad Mafia Crips in North Long Beach to the iconic Rollin 20s Crips with connections to notable figures like Snoop Dogg, and the Insane Crips gang known for their extensive territory and influence. These groups have carved their identities within the urban landscape. While the city celebrates its vibrant heritage and tourist attractions, the presence of these gangs serves as a reminder of the ongoing challenges and narratives that are woven into the very fabric of Long Beach's community. As we reflect on the city's journey from its indigenous roots to its current status, it's essential to acknowledge the multifaceted nature of Long Beach, where cultural richness and gang affiliations coexist, shaping the city's identity in the 21st century.
Number 5. We have Anzac Grape Compton Crips. The North Side Anzac Grape Compton Crips are a street gang based in the Willowbrook area, just north of Compton. Their territory spans from Wilmington Ave in the west to Alameda Street in the east, and from El Segundo Boulevard in the north to Stockwell Street in the south. As a Crip-affiliated group, they naturally have conflicts with Blood and Piru gangs in their vicinity. However, they also have disputes with other Crip factions. At number 4, we have the 6 Hood Compton Crips. The 6 Hood Compton Crips are an African-American street gang situated on the east side of the Willowbrook community, originating as a subset of the more expansive Mona Park Compton Crips. Their territory spans from 126th Street to El Segundo Boulevard, nestled between Wilmington and Willowbrook Avenues. The Compton Blue Line LA Metro station serves as a defining boundary for this gang's territory. At number 3, we have Ducky Hood Compton Crips.
My enemy and pulled a 1 in 7. My jurisdiction insists to have get dead. They see me shining like diamonds and now they want my head. Picture my homies and enemies scheming up to get me.
The East Side Ducky Hood Compton Crips, primarily an African-American gang, have their roots in the east side of Compton, California. Their area extends southward on Harris Street and further down on Williams Avenue, close to the 710 Long Beach Freeway. They are situated directly below the Luthers Park Piru region and above the Atlantic Drive Compton Crips zone, with Alondra Boulevard serving as a de facto boundary. While their territory is relatively smaller compared to other major gangs in East Compton, the Ducky Hood Compton Crips are still among the most notable Crip factions in Compton, California. At number 2, we have Ward Lane Compton Crips. The East Side Ward Lane Compton Crips, predominantly an African-American gang, are based in Compton, California's eastern region. Their territory lies east of Long Beach Boulevard, nestled between Compton Boulevard and Alondra Boulevard. They are positioned directly to the east of the Southside Compton Crips and to the west of the Hollywood Pirates. The gang's name is inspired by Ward Avenue, a residential street located between Osage Avenue and Bullis Road. With over 2 decades of activity, the Ward Lane Compton Crips have primarily been in conflicts with the Piru gangs in East Compton.
To the gangsters, to the movers.
Tell them who you is, cuz. Who is you, cuz? Let them know, cuz. Let them know, cuz. My young cuz, who is y'all, cuz? Let them know. Eight Tray Gangsters. Only TRP country. Dead low.
BK. Y'all BK? Yeah, alright. Yeah. Where you from? 18th Street. Yeah.
Alright, yeah. Life around gangsters. Don't hang around nothing that ain't like us. Twin clothes make them put away Deuce. My whole hood in the building looking like
Gangster Crips, also known as Treys, are a network of several individual African-American street gangs based primarily in South Central Los Angeles, California. These gangs are loosely connected under the Gangster Crips umbrella and have a deep-rooted history marked by significant rivalries and alliances. Originating from a long-standing feud between the Eight Tray Gangster Crips and the Rolling 60s Neighborhood Crips in 1971, the Gangster Crips have grown to encompass numerous sets, each with its own unique identity and territory.
Baby Huey, Motor Miles, 60s, OGs, killers. Come in the hood. All they want is to shoot her, kill their brother. They ain't tripping. Like, man, we want the brother. That's what Big Rick said. And we was like, man, we don't know him. We didn't. He just started claiming the hood in 2 days. We couldn't give him up.
The Gangster Crips, also known as Trey, consist of several individual African-American street gangs based in South Central Los Angeles, California. These gangs, falling under the Gangster Crips card, are loosely connected to the Eight Tray Gangster Crips. The formation of the Gangster Crips stems from a long-standing feud between the Eight Tray Gangster Crips and the Rollin 60s Neighborhood Crips. This rivalry, which erupted in 1971, led to significant violence on the streets of South Central LA, resulting in over 50 deaths between the Eight Trays and the Rollin 60s. Allies of the Rollin 60s Neighborhood Crips became known as Neighborhood Crips or adopted the Rollin Zeros under the Deuce's card. Meanwhile, allies of the Eight Tray Gangster Crips became Gangster Crips under the Trey's card. The Deuces and Treys have been mortal enemies, feuding for over 30 years. Despite their enmity, some Gangster Crips gangs have alliances with those under the Deuce's umbrella. For instance, the 40s Gangster Crips have a close relationship with the East Coast Crips, who generally fall under the Deuce's umbrella. The 8-7 Gangster Crips and the 9-7 Gangster Crips are allies of the Rolling 50s Neighborhood Crips, including the 5-5 NHC, 5-7 NHC, 5-8 NHC, and 5-9 NHC. This type of alliance has led to the 4 Tray Gangster Crips being nicknamed 4 Traitors due to their association with gangs that are known rivals of the Gangster Crips. Gangs under the Trays often feud with other gangs within the Gangster Crips. The 40s Gangster Crips, including the 4 Deuce Gangster Crips, 4 Tray Gangster Crips, and 4-8 Gangster Crips, are bitter rivals of the Avalon Gangster Crips and the Broadway Gangster Crips.
We ain't never slipping, we outside, on 10 toes, on faded off the Remy, head still on a swivel. On move. Yeah, free the locs, man. On Gangster Crip. Hey, straight gangster, dead homies. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, third game. Yeah, third game. Yeah, we been telling y'all they been saying that. Avalon.
Tell them who you is, cuz. Who is you, cuz? Let them know, cuz. Let them know, cuz. My young cuz. Who is y'all, cuz? Let them know. Eight Tray Gangsters. On that. TRP country. Dead low.
The Eight Tray Gangster Crips are primarily an African-American street gang located on the west side of South Los Angeles, California. Their neighborhood spans from Gage Avenue to 79th Street, between Western Avenue and Vermont Avenue. They fall under the Gangster Crips card. They are named after the popular residential street 83rd Street, which is at the heart of their neighborhood. The Eight Tray Gangster Crips are considered by federal agents and city officials to be one of the most violent street gangs in Los Angeles County. They are well known for their brutal reputation, with over 300 active members. They originated from the original West Side Crips, led by Stanley "Tookie" Williams, in the early 1970s. The Eight Tray Crips are allies with most gangs that fall under the Gangster Crips umbrella.
Hold up, hold on. Time out. Where you from? Oh yeah,
BK. Y'all BK? Yeah, alright. Yeah. Where you from?
18th Street.
Yeah.
That's the game.
And all that. Okay, free the game. Yeah, y'all know what's going on. Free the game.
Wait.
Hold on.
Wait. Oh, Janky? Wait, can you fit behind Young? Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that bar.
4-pack Crip. 4-pack Crip. Yeah. Bonds and they mama stuff. Where we at? South Park. The landmarks.
The 40s Gangster Crips, also known as the 4-pack Crips, consist of 3 African-American street gangs located on the east side of South Los Angeles, California. The 4-pack refers to an alliance between the 4 Deuce Gangster Crips, the 4 Tray Gangster Crips, and the 4-8 Gangster Crips. The 40s Gangster Crips are part of the Gangster Crips card. The 4 Deuce Gangster Crips are the second largest of the 3 gangs. They originated around 42nd Street, between Vernon Avenue and Martin Luther King Boulevard. The 4 Tray Gangster Crips are the largest of the 3 gangs, with a brutal reputation for violence and drive-by shootings. The 4 Tray Gangster Crips originated around McKinley Avenue, between 43rd Street and 43rd Place. The 4-8 Gangster Crips are located around Central Avenue, between 48th Street and 48th Place. The 4-8 Gangster Crips also have a small sub-clique known as the 47 Gangster Crips, which operate around 47th Street and Compton Boulevard. The 40s Gangster Crips, aka 4-pack Crips, they are known to feud with other gangs under the Gangster Crips umbrella, especially the 40s Avalon Crips and the Broadway Gangster Crips. The 40s Gangster Crips are one of the most notorious street gangs on the east side of South Los Angeles, California. The 8-7 Gangster Crips are predominantly, but not exclusively, an African-American street gang located on the east side of South Los Angeles, California. The 8-7 Gangster Crips originated after the 8 Tray Gangster Crips started feuding with the Rollin 60s Neighborhood Crips in 1979. The Eastside 9-6 Gangster Crips are an African-American street gang formed in the early 1980s in Los Angeles, California. They identify under the Gangster Crips and Eastside Crips umbrella and are allies with all Gangster Crips. The Eastside 9-7 Gangster Crips are an African-American street gang founded in the early 1980s in Los Angeles, California. Their territory is concentrated around 97th Street, east of the 110 freeway, and west of Avalon Boulevard. This gang identifies under the Gangster Crips and Eastside Crips umbrella. The 11-8 Eucalyptus Mob Gangster Crips merged with the Gangster Crips brand. They are primarily an African-American street gang located on the west side of Hawthorne, California. The 11-8 Gangster Crips originated in the 1980s and fall under the Gangster Crips umbrella. Their neighborhood centers around 118th Street between Prairie Boulevard and Cedar Avenue.
Oh, we outside, oh my God! They be outside for nothing. They be outside for the Sundays only.
We been telling y'all they, bro. We been saying that. Avalon, making it up.
Little homegirls everywhere.
You here with us, cuz?
That's right, cuz. Homies everywhere, cuz. My Avalon.
The Avalon Gangster Crips are an active African-American street gang located on the east side of South Los Angeles, California. They were established in the early 1970s by Jimmel Barnes, a former member of the East Side Crips, along with a few friends who lived in the Avalon Gardens housing projects. The Avalon Garden Crips originated after Raymond Washington, leader of the East Side Crips, was incarcerated on a murder charge in 1974. The 88 Avalon Garden Crips were the first subset of the Avalon Gangster Crips. The Avalon Garden projects are located on 88th Place, between Avalon Boulevard and Central Avenue. The Avalon Crips consist of 4 subsets: 11-6, 88, 5 Trey, and 40s Avalon Crips, and they fall under the Gangster Crips umbrella. The 11-6 Avalon Gangster Crips are an active subset under the Avalon Gangster Crips umbrella. They originated around 116th Street and Avalon Boulevard. The 11-6 Avalon Gangster Crips were one of the most active gangs on the east side of South Central throughout the 1980s and 1990s. The 5 Trey Avalon Gangster Crips are an African-American street gang operating on the east side of South Los Angeles, California. They are the second largest subset of the Avalon Gangster Crips. The Rolling 40s Avalon Gangster Crips, commonly known as the Avalon 40s Crips, are a subset of the larger Avalon Gangster Crips. Their neighborhood is located on Main Street, between Vernon Avenue and Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. The Avalon 40s consist of 2 cliques, 41st Street and 43rd Street.
You can get a 15, 16-year-old tear you up, man. Don't give a buy y'all, man, you know? Man, you said something to his sister. I'll tell you what, the young guns on both sides, the Bloods and the Crip, the young guns ain't no joke. The young guns ain't no joke, boy. Even a tough person like me in my day wouldn't get out of line straight with a young gun that I don't know.
From West Side, let them do Broad Gangster Crip. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, that's my goon. So look, turn the camera on. Look, that's how my goon roll up on his C-Day. That's how my goon roll up just like this. Really on his C-Day, like.
Broadway is for the only Crips should see walk, and that all non-affiliates are still in the fame without surviving the pain.
These niggas done changed the game, man. They got some millennium stunners out here, man. #1 stunners, man. Stunners, man.
The Broadway Gangster Crips are an active African-American street gang located on the west side of South Central, Los Angeles, California. They originated in the 1970s and have been active for over 40 years. The Broadway Gangster Crips consist of 2 subsets: the 5 Deuce Broadway Gangster Crips and the 11 Deuce Broadway Gangster Crips. The Broadway Crips refer to the west side as West Town and fall under the Gangster Crips umbrella. The 5 Deuce Broadway Gangster Crips originated around 52nd Street between Broadway and Avalon Boulevard. The 11 Deuce Broadway Gangster Crips have territory around 112th Street between Broadway and San Pedro Avenue. The 71st Street Gangster Crips are a predominantly African-American street gang based on the west side of South Los Angeles, California. They are located near 71st Street in Normandy, within the larger territory of the 8 Tray Gangster Crip neighborhood. This group adopted the Gangster Crip identity around 2006 and maintains a close association with the 8 Tray Gangster Crips.
Yeah. Say it again, now. Yeah, naps, gangsters. What can say? What can say?
The Graveyard Crips are primarily an African-American street gang located on the west side of Santa Monica, California. Their neighborhood is situated behind the Woodlawn Cemetery, which is at Pico Boulevard and 14th Street, across from Santa Monica College. The Graveyard Crips fall under the Gangster Crips umbrella.
I want to take y'all to 1980, when I done my first drive-by. Okay, I'm in the neighborhood on 127th Street. I swoop up and pick up my buddy Germ and Uzi Mike. We're going northbound up Normandy, you see. We see some rival enemies going southbound, down Normandy. It's where I got a 32 automatic, you know, and we riding up, you know, we just rolling on up that thing. It's where I see him, I get off, bow, 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 not thinking what I'm doing. I just get off, bow. So when we going, we on our way to go get us a stick or two. So we rolling, you know. Got to the canal, we come down Vermont. Rolling down Vermont. I see some more rival enemies where I get off again. Bow, 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 not thinking what I'm doing. That's the point. Where now here it is. I come back to the neighborhood, I'm sitting back. Next thing I know, the police come around me to where here I am now going to jail for attempted murder for something I wasn't thinking about doing.
The Harvard Gangster Crips are an African-American street gang located in the West Athens district of Los Angeles, California, though they claim South Los Angeles. The Harvard Gangster Crips originated in the late 1970s around Harvard Boulevard, between Western Avenue and Halldale Avenue. Their main cliques are based on 127th Street and 126th Street. The Harvard Gangster Crips fall under the Gangster Crips umbrella.
Live my whole life around gangsters. Don't hang around nothing that ain't like us. Twin clothes make them put away Deuce. My whole hood in the building looking like County. Skip the deal. Got a vivid picture of life in the dollar sign. Tell myself every day, stay away from haters.
West side ho. My bad. So, thanks
The 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips are an active street gang located on the west side of South Los Angeles, California. They originated in the 1970s around 52nd Street and Hoover Street, between Vermont Avenue and Figueroa Avenue. By the late 1980s, the 5 Deuce Hoover Crips had over 1,000 active members on the streets of South Central Los Angeles. The 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips are a subset of the larger Hoover criminal gangs and are affiliated with the Gangster Crips card. The Mansfield Crips are primarily an African-American street gang located in the West Side District of Los Angeles, California. They originated in the early 1980s and were previously known as the Mansfield Hustlers, centered around Mansfield Avenue, between Venice Boulevard and Olympic Boulevard. By the late 1980s, the Mansfield Hustlers officially became known as the Mansfield Gangster Crips. The Mansfield Gangster Crips are one of the most active gangs in the West Side District of Los Angeles and fall under the Gangster Crips umbrella.
My mom used to chase me up and down this block. My mom hated it. Hated I was from the hood.
What's up, cuz? My name is Baby Gangster from West Side Marvin.
You ain't supposed to be over here. Don't even stop right here. Don't even slow down right here. This is where they film Malibu's Most Wanted.
Why you tell me that you want to get some shirt? Kicking it, about to get some drink.
11 Gangster Crips are an African-American street gang based in West Los Angeles, California. They are named after Marvin Avenue, a street located west of Hauser Boulevard, between Venice Boulevard and Washington Boulevard. The Marvin Gangster Crips fall under the Gangster Crips umbrella.
Famous Crip, Schoolyard Crip to be exact. But you knew that already. You see it on my face, baby. Come on now, you see big S's and Y's.
I go to hold your like 100-yard dash. I go to hold your. I go to hold your like 100-yard dash. I go to hold your.
Stay focused on my way up. They've been backdooring, keep the gate shut. Keep it on you for
The Schoolyard Crips are a predominantly African-American street gang located on the west side in the Mid-City region of South Los Angeles, California. They originated in the early 1980s around Longwood Avenue between Crenshaw Boulevard and Venice Boulevard. The Schoolyard Crips have over 200 active members documented in police gang files. The Schoolyard Crips consist of several smaller cliques, including the Yank Mob, Midtown, 1600 Block, 2800 Block, and 4800 Block, which represents 17th Street. The Palm and Oak Gangster Crips are predominantly an African-American street gang located on the east side of Linwood, California. Parts of their neighborhood extend into Compton, south of the Interstate 105 freeway. Their territory lies west of Long Beach Boulevard and Alpine Avenue, between Oak Street and Palm Avenue. The Palm and Oak Gangster Crips are part of the Gangster Crips car.
Gang, we in the Heights right now. Big old rabbits everywhere.
We went from carrying backpacks to crack sacks, homie, within a matter of months.
We one of the first hoods to get the gang injunction back in, what was that, 87?
They actually tried it first on the Primitive Flats in the First Street East Coast.
LA still got a G code. It still comes from the top and simmer on down to our young homies.
The Playboy Crips are a long-standing African-American street gang located on the west side of Los Angeles, California. The Playboy Gangster Crips have been active for over 30 years and fall under the Gangster Crips umbrella. Their neighborhood spans from Pico Boulevard, between Oceanaga Boulevard and Hauser Boulevard.
Shotgun Crips, that's where I originated. That's where I come up from. Gardena, fighting.
The Shotgun Crips are primarily an African-American street gang established in the 1970s, located on the west side of Gardena, California. Their territory stretches from East Vermont Avenue to West Crenshaw Boulevard. The Shotgun Crips consist of 3 cliques: the 132nd Street Clique, the 134th Street Clique, and the 139th Street Clique. The Hawthorne Thug Family is an African-American street gang located on the west side of Hawthorne, California. Their neighborhood centers around 139th Street between Crenshaw Boulevard and Prairie Avenue. The Hawthorne Thug Family Gangster Crips have been active for over 20 years and fall under the Gangster Crips umbrella.
Know what this shit is? Cat it over here. Chill out. One pocket hood.
Like some crack addicts. Oh, one more wild words. He has real passion. When around the spot behind the bag, I'm gonna take you this mad. Thinking on game, we ain't talking, we finna bitch.
Oh, that man, you feel me? Personally, I'm solo bolo, cuz. I stick to myself, but these my dogs right here, man. I kill for these, you see? You feel me? But look, but anyway, let's get back to the money. You see it. We out here on the mission, trying to get it how we live.
The 10-Line Gangster Crips are a small African-American street gang situated on the east side in the Woods neighborhood of Los Angeles, California. This gang claims territory along 110th Street and the surrounding blocks between Wilmington Avenue and Mona Boulevard. The primary cliques within the 10-Line Gangster Crips include the Dead End, Trackside, and the Lou Dillon Boys. The Altadena Blocc Crips are primarily an African-American street gang located on the west side of Altadena, California. Their territory is near Fair Oaks Avenue and extends from West Mountain View Street to West Loma Alta Drive. Members claim the following streets: Harriet Street, Palm Street, and Pine Street. The Altadena Blocc Crips are affiliated with the Treys and are known to frequent Loma Alta Park, situated at the corner of Lincoln Avenue and West Loma Alta Drive. They are the largest Crip gang in the Pasadena-Altadena area, along with the Pasadena Raymond Avenue Crips.
That's all about me, guys.
What's up, guys?
The Do-Rock Gangster Crips, due to their affiliation with the Gangster Crips card, are primarily an African-American street gang located in the Duarte and Monrovia regions of the San Gabriel Valley in California. The Do-Rock Crips consist of 2 cliques: the Low End in the Duarte neighborhood between California Avenue and Mountain Avenue, south of Duarte Road. The second clique is known as the High End, located in the Monrovia neighborhood, between the 210 freeway and downtown Monrovia, north of Duarte Road. The Do-Rock Crips originated in the 1970s and fall under the Gangster Crips, also known as the Trey's umbrella, aligning themselves with other Gangster Crips, such as the notorious 8 Tray Gangster Crips in South Los Angeles. The Whitsett Avenue Gangster Crips, also known as the Whitsett Avenue Crips, is a predominantly African-American street gang located on the east side of North Hollywood in the San Fernando Valley, California. This gang emerged in the late 1980s and takes its name from Whitsett Avenue, a central street in their neighborhood that stretches between Oxnard Street and Sherman Way. The Whitsett Avenue Crips are part of the larger Gangster Crips. They are recognized for wearing apparel of the Washington Nationals, a professional baseball team based in Washington, D.C. In particular, they often sport baseball caps featuring the Washington Nationals logo, W, to represent the first letter of their gang's name. Despite being a Crips gang, their primary color is black, symbolized by a black rag. Their cliques include the 5900 Block, 6500 Block, and the 7100 Block, collectively referred to as the 567. The extensive network of Gangster Crips in California reflects a complex web of alliances, rivalries, and territorial disputes. From the 40s Gangster Crips to the Whitsett Avenue Gangster Crips, each set has its distinct history and connections, both within and outside the Gangster Crips umbrella. Despite internal conflicts and external rivalries, the Gangster Crips continue to exert significant influence in their respective territories, maintaining a presence that has shaped the gang landscape of South Los Angeles.
Crips. Whoa, 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 cause gang.
Orders got me one, bitch. I need me another. You knew she was a fag, but you knew she was a tucker. You supposed to flash him out of town and get him out that cover.
Yeah, the killers with me. Yeah. We got hammers, homie. They telling them get a peso to 40.
The city of Florence, nestled within Los Angeles County, California, serves as a vibrant hub of diverse cultural and social dynamics. Amidst its bustling streets, the community grapples with economic challenges and the complexities of single-parent households, all while striving for educational advancement through the support of the Los Angeles Unified School District. Beyond the facade of urban struggle, Florence harbors a deeply entrenched history of gang culture, predominantly marked by the presence of various Crip factions. This narrative delves into the intricate tapestry of Crip gang affiliations within Florence, exploring their origins, territorial influences, and the interconnections that weave through the broader expanse of South Los Angeles gang culture. From the formidable East Coast Crip to the assertive Hadgan Watts Crips, each faction embodies a unique story of survival, allegiance, and the quest for identity in the sprawling urban landscape of Florence.
On the bricks with the Crips. Whoa, 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 cause gang. Whoa. Saint they says.
I'm to a bitch house, to the spot, doing what I'm doing, turning this twist, getting on this bus, doing this and doing that, out here solo bolo. No.
The 7-6 East Coast Crips are a well-known gang in South Los Angeles. They are part of a bigger Crip gang known as the East Coast Crips. Their area is in a place called Florence Firestone, pretty close to Watts, another area in Los Angeles. Their name comes from where they're based, around a street called 76 Place, between two other streets called Central Avenue and Compton Avenue. This gang has been around for a long time and is still very active in Los Angeles today. Members often wear clothes or accessories related to the Philadelphia 76ers basketball team. They are cool with other sets that are also part of the East Coast Crips, like the 8-9 East Coast Crips, 9-7 East Coast Crips, and a few others known as 6-Pack East Coast Crips and 1st East Coast Crips. They also get along with all the Neighborhood Crips gangs. The Kitchen Crips is a group of African-American individuals who formed a gang in South Los Angeles, California. They started back in the 1970s and have 3 smaller sets within them called the 116 Kitchen Crips. the 9-5 Kitchen Crips, and the 8-7 Kitchen Crips. To show they are part of the Kitchen Crips, members often wear baseball caps with a KC logo, which stands for Kansas City, but also represents their gang. Among these, the 8-7 Kitchen Crips are the biggest set. They are based around 87th Street and 87th Place, mainly on Hooper Avenue, which is considered the central area of their activities. The Kitchen Crips have several groups they consider their allies, including the Main Street Mafia Crips, 9-9 Mafia Crips, Hoover Criminals, Fushtown Mafia Crips, and the 9-5 Compton Avenue Crips. The 8-9 East Coast Neighborhood Crips are mainly a group of African-American individuals who have formed a gang. This gang is part of a bigger group known as the East Coast Crips, and they are also connected to another group called the Neighborhood Crips. They consider all other East Coast Crips sets and any sets that are part of the Neighborhood Crips umbrella as their friends or allies.
Drinking on some rock, posted on the block, 99% of shots. The police hot, they trying to hit my spot.
This way paint your face, nigga. Flops, scats, marks.
The 99 Watts Mafia Crips, also known as the Niners, are a group of African-American individuals who formed a gang in area of South Los Angeles, California. They started in the 1980s near 99th Street and Success Avenue, which is between Compton Avenue and Central Avenue. Members of the 99 Watts Mafia Crips are recognized for wearing yellow or gold colors, in addition to blue, which is a common color for Crip gangs. They are part of a larger Crip umbrella known as the Mafia Crips. This gang is friends with several other gangs like the Fushtown Mafia Crips, Bluegate Mafia Crips, and Main Street Mafia Crips. They also get along with the PJ Watts Crips and Nuthood Watts Crips.
Orders got me one, bitch. I need me another. You knew she was a fag, but you knew she was a tucker. You supposed to flash him out of town and get him out that cover.
The Hadgan Watts Crips, also called Hadgan Watts, are a well-known gang made up of African-American members in South Los Angeles, California. Their area stretches from 92nd Street to 98th Street, between Central Avenue and Parmelee Avenue. This gang has been around for more than 30 years and is known for being one of the more aggressive gangs in the area. The Hadgan Watts has a few different sets within it, but the two main ones are on 92nd Street and 96th Street. Members often wear black and sometimes call themselves the Black Rag Gang or Black Rag Crips because of the black bandanas they wear. They are friends with the East Coast Crips, the Front Street Crips, and the Playboy Gangster Crips. Back in the 1980s, they were also very close with the 99 Mafia Crips and the Compton Avenue Crips. In fact, the Compton Avenue Crips helped start the Hadgan Watts Crips. The exploration of Crip gangs in Florence unveils a complex narrative that transcends mere territorial disputes or criminal affiliations. It reflects the broader socio-economic challenges and cultural dynamics that shape the lives of individuals within these communities. From the 7-6 East Coast Crips' symbolic affiliations to the Hadgan Watts Crips' historical ties and the Kitchen Crips' cultural expressions, each gang contributes to the multifaceted identity of Florence and South Los Angeles. Understanding the intricacies of these gangs provides a lens through which we can comprehend the broader societal issues at play, including the impact of economic disparity, the importance of community support systems, and the enduring quest for identity amidst adversity. As Florence continues to evolve, the legacy of these Crip gangs remains a poignant reminder of the resilience and complexity of urban communities in the face of ongoing challenges.
And if you say something to me, bet my honey's tripping.
Okay, these are the dark Crips before.
Nestled within the heart of Los Angeles County, Willowbrook presents itself as a unique enclave that balances the remnants of its rural past with the burgeoning challenges of urban life. This unincorporated area, rich in history and cultural diversity, has navigated through the ebbs and flows of suburban development, particularly after the post-Depression era and World War II. Despite the scars left by the 1965 Watts riots, Willowbrook's community infrastructure, including its enduring library, has withstood the test of time, maintaining the area's distinct character amidst the broader narrative of South Central Los Angeles. However, beneath the surface of this resilient community lies a bunch of Crip gang affiliations, each paving its own story of survival, identity, and territorial allegiance. From the 7th Street Watts Crips to the alliances of the 6 Hood Compton Crips, the presence of these groups not only underscores the challenges faced by Willowbrook, but also reflects the broader socio-economic and cultural dynamics at play in urban communities across Los Angeles.
Right now, well, we on 117th Street. Yeah, it's grimy over here, man. They call it Gutterville, man. You getting stuck up and all kinds of some crazy.
The 7th Street Watts is a group known for being active in a part of Los Angeles in the Willowbrook Watts area. They started around 117th Street, near Mona Boulevard and Willowbrook Avenue. A rapper named Glasses Malone, who works with Mac 10's music label, is connected to this group. The 7th Street Crips are cool with the home street Crips, and they often don't get along with the same sets. They call their friendship 187 Watts Crips, where 1 stands for 100, 8 for 118th Street, and 7 for 117th Street. Their area is right next to Compton, which sometimes causes serious fights with the Mona Park Compton Crips, a bigger group living just a few blocks south of them. The 7th Street Watts Crips has several alliances, including the Home Street Crips, Grape Street Crips, Front Street Crips, PJ Watts Crips, and the Carver Park Compton Crips. These alliances play a significant role in their interactions and conflicts with other groups.
No actions gotta kill you just for practice, and I don't even like, but my is different.
The Mona Park Compton Crips are a Crip set mainly made up of African American members located between Willowbrook and Compton in California. Their area stretches from 118th Street to 125th Street, from Mona Boulevard to Wilmington Avenue. This area includes both sides of the train tracks for the Compton, Blue Line, train on Willowbrook Avenue. The Mona Park Compton Crips got their name from Mona Park, a local spot on Mona Boulevard between 121st and 122nd Street. Their area is right on the edge of Watts, another part of Los Angeles. There's a famous rapper from the 1990s, Coolio, who some people thought was part of a different Crip set called the Pocket Hood Compton Crips. But actually, he was connected with the Mona Park Compton Crips. The Mona Park Compton Crips have formed alliances with several other Crip sets, including the Carver Park Compton Crips and the Pocket Hood Compton Crips. They are also connected with the 6 Hood Compton Crips, which actually started as a part of the Mona Park Compton Crips. These alliances play a significant role in their interactions and presence in the area.
Everybody give it up. Get your ugly face out of there. Come on.
If you looking for me, come get me. Carver Park Crip, yup, damn mine. You know we keep a bad in with it. Take it to the hood till it get flippin'. Me and Crip, what you niggas saying?
The Carver Park Compton Crips on the border between the two areas, Compton and Willowbrook in Los Angeles. They're known for being very active in their area. Their space stretches from 118th Street to 126th Street, between Wilmington Avenue and Central Avenue. They get their name from George Washington Carver Park, a place in their neighborhood located between 118th and 120th Street on Success Avenue. Dee's Liquor, also known as the Four Store, is a well-known corner shop on Wilmington Ave, tucked between 124th and 123rd Street. It's a common hangout spot for gang members in the area. Unfortunately, it's also a place where a lot of gang fights, shootings, and serious incidents happen. Not far from there, just 2 blocks south, is Martin Luther King Jr. Hospital, often called Killer King because it's known for treating a lot of gunshot injuries. The Carver Park Crips have joined forces with several other Crip sets, like the Mona Park Compton Crips, Grape Street Watts Crips, Kelly Park Compton Crips, Nutty Block Compton Crips, and the Southside Compton Crips. Interestingly, they've also teamed up with the Front Hood Compton Crips, who used to be their rivals because they share common enemies. The 6 Hood Compton Crips are a smaller African-American gang located in Willowbrook, east side of Los Angeles County. They began as part of the larger Mona Park Compton Crips. Their area extends from 126th Street to El Segundo Boulevard, between Wilmington Avenue and Willowbrook Avenue. They have alliances with Carver Park Compton Crips, Mona Park Compton Crips, and Grape Street Crips. The train tracks for the Compton Blue Line mark the edge of their area. These alliances play a significant role in their interactions and presence in the area. The exploration of Crip gang affiliations within Willowbrook offers a window into the intricate socio-economic fabric that defines this unique Los Angeles County enclave. The presence of these gangs, from the 7th Street Watts Crips to the 6th Hood Compton Crips, reveals a complex network of relationships, rivalries, and alliances that are deeply intertwined with the community's history and daily life. As Willowbrook continues to navigate the challenges of urbanization and social change, understanding the dynamics of these gang affiliations becomes crucial in comprehending the broader societal issues that influence the area. The story of Willowbrook and its Crip gangs is one of resilience and adaptation, reflecting the ongoing struggle for identity and belonging within the rapidly evolving urban landscape of Los Angeles County.
At number 10, we have the Rollin 30s original Harlem Crips.
They're getting everything out Harlem Crip,
Yeah.
I feel Gangland, yeah. Stupid 39th Street though, okay, West, yeah. Norm, they're getting cut. Yeah, see, Gangland.
39th Street, Harlem Crip.
Where'd you get the girl? Where'd you get the name, little girl Blue?
I got a big homie, big girl Blue. She not here right now. She on one right now. She at home picture.
Let me get the head and show her so you can fit your name.
But we chillin', yeah, we ready and willin'. You hear about the latest West Side killing?
The West Side Rollin 30s, original Harlem Crips, also known as the Dirt Gang, are a long-standing African-American street gang in West Los Angeles, California. They have a rich history and are one of the oldest Crip gangs in the West Side. Their territory is located on the southwest section of Los Angeles and is the second largest among black gangs in the city, slightly smaller than the turf of the Eight Tray Gangster Crips. Originally, they called themselves the Harlem Godfathers when they started in the Jefferson Park area. The West Side Rollin original Harlem Crips are made up of different smaller groups, known as cliques. These cliques include the Avenues, Dingle Park, and 39th Street. The oldest members of the gang came from these cliques. Additionally, there are two other cliques called the 35th and 37th Streets, which were formed in the mid-1990s and consist of younger gang members. Each clique has leaders known as shot callers who oversee and direct the gang's criminal activities. Their territory is about 2.4 square miles between Jefferson to the north and King Boulevard to the south, and Crenshaw Boulevard to the west, and Normandy to the east. A portion of their turf extends further east to Vermont between Exposition in the north and King Boulevard to the south. At number 2, we got the West Side Neighborhood Rollin 60s.
It's the neighborhoods, bro. We beef with everybody but neighborhoods. Like, don't nobody else like us. Only niggas we get along with in jail is like, nigga, the Denver Lanes, the Bloods, like one blood, you know what I'm saying? And they can't that because they real Bloods, like, you know what I'm saying? But we got understanding. But all them, you know what I'm saying? The Hoovers, they do their thing. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't really the most hated. We really like the most hated. Like, y'all can't, like, hey, don't let them get their own door. Like, once there's too many of us, it's a problem.
West Side Rollin 60s Neighborhood Crips is a well-known African-American street gang located in the Hyde Park area of West Los Angeles, California. It was formed in 1976 when a part of the original West Side Crips gang split into smaller neighborhood-based groups. The gang's name, Rollin 60s, has different theories surrounding its origin, as it was named during its early years. The Rollin 60 Crips has several smaller areas within its larger territory. These areas include the Avenues, Overhills, the Don, and Front Hood. The Rollin 60s Crips have a significant location history in the Los Angeles County area. Their territory stretches across several neighborhoods, including Crenshaw, Hyde Park, Ladera Heights, View Park, and Windsor.
Discuss all Crip sets in Inglewood, California.
We go hard in the motherfucking
What that Hoover like? You know? And it's raining, okay.
Inglewood, California, a city with a rich and complex history, has been home to several notable street gangs, each with its own unique origins and characteristics. Among these are the Imperial Village Crips, Osage Legend Crips, 102 Raymond Crips, and the Tonga Crip gang. African American and Tongan has shaped the social and cultural landscape of Inglewood in various ways, from their beginnings in specific streets and neighborhoods to their distinctive styles and affiliations. These gangs have left an undeniable mark on the city of Inglewood. This overview dives into the history, alliances, and rivalries of these gangs, providing a glimpse into an often misunderstood aspect of Inglewood urban tapestry.
Where is that, cuz? On BC gang. Nowhere to see found, cuz. On B's. Ain't this on street? Burn, right? Where is that, cuz? Niggas ain't nowhere to be found, cuz. Is that some maggots? Hell no, that's some female.
That's an Imperial Village Crip, man. Don't play with the game. My head's always on the switch because I'm off on me dead.
The Imperial Village Crips, also called Inglewood Village Crips, are a group that started in Inglewood, California. They began around a place called Imperial Highway between Prairie Avenue and Yukon Avenue, near Doty Avenue. This group is one of the oldest of its kind in Inglewood. They usually hang out in apartment buildings between 105th Street and Imperial Highway. People heard about them a lot after they were linked to a rapper named Big Sight, who was part of a music group called Thug Life started by Tupac Shakur. There was a man named Michael Scruggs, who was one of the first people in the Imperial Village Crips. He stood up against the punishment of Stanley Tookie Williams. Scruggs joined famous people and community leaders to try and stop Stanley Tookie Williams from being punished by lethal injection.
Every now and then I wanna go back to my old ways. Shooting through my blocks, my heart bruised. I done lost a homie.
The Osage Legend Crips, are also known as Osage Legend Neighborhood Crips or 9 Deuce Neighborhood Crips, are a group of people who are mainly African American. They started in a place called Inglewood, California, around Osage Street and Arbor Vitae Street, between Prairie Avenue and La Brea Avenue. This group is special because Inglewood has mostly blood gangs, but the Osage Legend Crips are a Crip gang. Their main group is called the Tiny Loc Riders from 92nd Street. They wear yellow or gold clothes, but they also wear blue like other Crip groups. The Legends like to meet at a place called Hollywood Park Casino in Inglewood. The Osage Legend Crips are friends with the Imperial Village Crips, the 111 Neighborhood Crips, and the Watergate Crips.
What's that? What that Hoover like? You know? And it's raining, okay. Let's chunk them like 2 G's, do it. In the middle of the street, I wouldn't give a fuck. Oh, but no, he had to go pull his gun out. And when I seen him, he pulled his gun out and he shot 4 times. I got hit twice.
And that day, I knew I was from Athens Park, I knew I was blood, I knew the rest. I remember my first real gang fight. They said, we're gonna rent out the gym, we're gonna give a youth dance. And they invited all the guys from Helen Keller Park, which were Raymond Crips. Couldn't control none of it. They were running to the car, and we were chasing them, beating their ass all the way to their car. Popped his trunk. And next thing you know, they had guns, and they was on our ass, man, you know. They shot us all the way back into the gym. Like 4 people got shot.
The 102 Raymond Avenue Crips, also known as RAC, are a group that has been around for a long time. They are made up of African American and Tongan people and are located in Inglewood, California. This group is a part of a bigger group called the Raymond Avenue Crips. They are mostly found around 102nd Street between Century Boulevard and Prairie Avenue. The Raymond Avenue Crips are good friends with 2 other groups, the 120 Raymond Avenue Crips from a place called Athens and the Tonga Crip gang from Inglewood. The 102 Raymonds usually hang out in some 2-story apartments on 102nd Street, but now many of these apartments are empty or have been damaged by fire. The 102 Raymond Avenue Crips are believed to be the largest Crip gang in the city of Inglewood.
Come next, last time that I checked, I've been self-made from the dribble. I was been saying I'm a... Y'all already know. We go hard in the pipe, nigga. It's T-Gang, nigga. Ingo watch bang, nigga. Gang affiliated, notice how them rags swing.
Wait that, I don't pay that. Earth stretching diamonds in your way cap. Real cap pillars.
The Tonga Crip Gang, also called T-Gang, is mostly made up of people from Tonga, but includes others too. They are a group in Inglewood, California. They are usually found around 102nd Street and 104th Street between Prairie Avenue and Doty Avenue. They share 102nd Street with a group that are friends with the Raymond Avenue Crips. The Tonga Crip Gang is special because they are the first and only group in Inglewood from the Pacific Islands or Polynesian. Inglewood has many other blood gangs, like the Center Park Bloods, the Queen Street Bloods, and the Weirdo Gangster Bloods. People in Tonga Crip Gang often wear baseball caps with a big T on them, like the ones for the Texas Rangers or Texas Longhorns, to show they are Tongan. They have two main sets, called the 102nd Bone Family and the 104th Nut Family. The Tonga Crips and the 102 Raymond Avenue Crips call the area in Inglewood, Inglewatt, because there are a lot of problems there, like in the Watts area in South Los Angeles. The Tonga Crip Gang doesn't get along with Samoan gangs or gangs with Samoan members in Carson, like the Carson Westside Piru, the Scott Park Pirus, and the Scottsdale Pirus. Gangs of Inglewood, such as the Imperial Village Crips, the Osage Ledger Crips, 102 Raymond Avenue Crips, and the Tonga Crip Gang, represent more than just stereotypes often associated with street gangs. They are deeply intertwined with history and evolution of Inglewood, reflecting the complex socio-economic dynamics and cultural diversity of the city. While these gangs have been involved in conflicts and challenges, they also embody a sense of identity and belonging for their members. Understanding these gangs offer insights into the broader narrative of Inglewood, a city that has witnessed significant transformation and resilience in the face of adversity. As Inglewood continues to grow and evolve, the stories of these gangs remain a crucial part of
Crips, West Los Angeles, California. This is a brief history on the West Side by your self-hustler Crips, also known as the Selfish Gang. This long-standing, primarily African-American street gang was founded in the mid-city neighborhood of Los Angeles, California. Today, we'll take a closer look at this gang and their territory.
Then at some point, you guys have a little conflict with another crew, the By Yourselves. They were hustlers at the time.
Right.
How did y'all cross paths with the By Yourselves?
Girls, like he said.
Girls.
One of the homies, Big S Love, you know, Big S Love was dating a chick that dealt with one of those, and then some kind of words was exchanged. Then they went to JB. And so when we, you know, and so we went up there, you know, because it was getting kind of funky.
Their territory stretches from Pico Boulevard in the north to approximately West 18th Street in the south, and from La Chinega Boulevard in the west to South Fairfax Avenue in the east. This gang falls under the Hustler Crips Guard and are friendly towards other Hustler Cripsets, such as the East Side Hustler Crips, the 46 Top Dollar Hustler Crips, the Playboy Hustler Crips, and the Big Time Hustler Crips. However, being in an area dominated by Gangster Cripsets, the By Yourself Hustlers have aligned themselves under the Trey card and are friendly towards most Gangster Crips, such as the Marvin Gangster Crips, Playboy Gangster Crips, Mansfield Gangster Crips, and the 43 Gangster Crips. Although older members still claim hustlers, the younger generation will often refer to themselves as the By Yourself Gangster Crips due to their Gangster Crip affiliation. Members tend to wear green apparel, most notably bandanas, to symbolize their Hustler Crips identity, along with the traditional blue color associated with the Crips. This gang has not been as active as other gangs in recent years.
Homie that was walking out the house one day. Boom! Caught a slug in his baby sister's head and he caught one. You know, go to his funeral. Boom! We catch another one. Catch one at the funeral. My homie falls out the casket. What type of shit is that? This is how it gotta go. So it's time for me to retaliate. You know?
Yeah, watch baby little Crip gang. You already know it is. Grape Street. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's the niggas, huh? You have to get that right now.
You know, we out here, man. Live, man.
They gonna go down the third. They ain't gonna never come through.
The Grape Street Watch Crips is a predominantly African-American street gang active in the Jordan Downs housing projects on the east side of the Watts District in South Los Angeles, California. The Jordan Downs housing projects extend from Grape Street to 97th Street, between Alameda Street and 103rd Street. The Grape Street Crips are known for wearing purple to signify their affiliation with Grape Street. The Grape Street Crips are the second largest gang in Watts.
Bedrock Gangster Crips. The West Side Bedrock Gangster Crips, a small, predominantly African-American street gang founded in the Mid-City neighborhood in West Los Angeles, California. Today, we'll explore the history of this gang and their impact on the community. The Bedrock Gangster Crips were founded in the Bedford Avenue and Shenandoah Avenue area during the 1980s. Originally known as the Bedford Boys, this gang falls under the Gangster Crips or Trey card. Their hood is within the larger Playboy Gangster Crips hood, who did not appreciate another Crip gang trying to establish themselves in their neighborhood. Fist fights between the two gangs soon escalated to gunfights, in which the larger Playboy Gangster Crips prevailed, forcing the Bedrock Crips off their hood. This ultimately led to the gang becoming defunct since approximately 2009. The Bedrock Gangster Crips used to feud with the Rollin 40s Neighborhood Crips, Rollin 60s Neighborhood Crips, as well as the Venice Shoreline Crips. Hispanic rivals include the 18th Street Gang, West Side Locos 13, and the West Side Ceros 13. They were clicked up with the Lady First Crip Gang. Many members of this gang joined their former enemies, the Playboy Gangster Crips. Thank you for watching. Stay safe.
Nix is charged with directing activities of certain criminal street gangs. These are felony charges. According to those documents, Nix is accused of unlawfully, as part of an identifiable leadership of a street gang, namely 100% 3rd Ward and 103, knowingly did finance, direct, and supervise the commission of the offense of murder, aggravated assault, and aggravated robbery by members of said criminal street gang. We're told
the Houston-based rapper UC was just arrested, accused of money laundering, delivering marijuana, and organized crime. He denies it in this Twitter video.
Out here saying organized crime, bro. Organizing music for my album.
That's 26-year-old Amequinem Biosa, stage name Maxo Cream. He's got an extensive criminal history.
Doing right, trying to take care of the family.
Because of Maxo Cream and NFL cartel, both 20 men are now facing gun charges because for whatever reason, people have not realized that what you do online can directly impact your life offline. Okay, they were saying ain't nothing smoother than a Hoover load. Yeah? I tell you what, that may be a trash-ass record, but that little jingle would have been perfect for Hoover vacuums, all right? Somebody at Hoover needed to make a commercial immediately.
Welcome back to All Scoops Media, everyone. In today's video, we're diving into the expansive network of the Hoover Crips sets across Texas, originating from South Los Angeles. The Hoover Crips have become one of the most powerful and recognized gang affiliations in the United States, spreading far beyond California. Today, we'll explore their significant presence in Texas, where they've adapted and evolved, establishing various sets from Houston to Fort Worth. Join us as we break down their history, key locations, and notable conflicts and alliances. This Hoover set from Seguin Manor Apartments is mostly made up of members who identify with the 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips. This Hispanic set has established itself within the local community under this affiliation.
I got the top of the 100 round joint. Me and my young switching my mud, do the shit for fun. We with that shit, boys, my time. Police finna take me right back to jail again, bro. I ain't do cuz. Hold on, get this. The police here to take me to jail again, cuz I ain't do B4B. My phone, I ain't coming out. I'm not coming out. I'm finna go right back to jail for nothing, cuz on Crip. Right back to jail, cuz on Crip.
No, just come on.
Get off line.
I don't know, they said somebody.
No.
I'm finna handle that, bro. Just come with me.
I'm finna.
In southwest Fort Worth, there's a group of 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips known as B4B, which stands for Body for Body. This Crip set is under the 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips that originally called themselves 5 Deuce Hoovers. Later, they changed their name to Gulf Coast Gangster Crips because they didn't want to be named after a street in Los Angeles. They chose their new name after the Gulf Coast Arms projects. Most of the members are older now. There is a group from the 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips in the Blue Ridge area of Sunnyside, Houston. They are mainly in the 4000 block, known as Simmons Gardens. One of their members was in a viral video where he was robbed for water bottles. The 051 Hoover Crip set is located around Rosehaven Drive.
Accused gang members facing a rap thanks to a rap video they shot here in Houston.
Police arrested nearly 24 of the suspects on gun charges. Now the case has gained national attention as Houston Police Chief weighs in. Our Phil Archer's live in downtown with the update. Phil?
Well, the chief says they're a threat to public safety, while prosecutors in both state and federal court are trying to lock them up. Even the song in their video is getting panned. Maxo. Last March, Houston rappers Maxo Cream and NFL Cartel Bo used a city park next to an elementary school to shoot a music video. It included about 24 members of a Houston street gang as extras, waving loaded guns at the camera. Find charged 20 cast members with gun violations, including NFL Cartel Bo, also known as Warren Brown II. He's still at large.
I think these are bad people. They're cowards. They're people that have no respect for the sanctity of human life, and they're people that present a danger to this community.
NFL. Never forget loyalty. Gang is well known because of a music video they filmed next to an elementary school in Lakewood Park. After the video, 11 members of NFL were sent to prison. NFL Gang is also part of the 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crip group. One of their rappers is NFL Cartel Bo.
I'm from Hardy, man, you know what I'm saying? We out there thugging it, you know what I'm saying? Making some money somehow, you feel me? I like.
The 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips claim an area called 4 Blocc on Hardy Street, near the 1500 block. There might be some Pyrus in the area, but either way, they get along with some Pyrus. The Hardy Boys used to be their own group, not connected to any big gangs from Los Angeles or Chicago.
They blue, gangs, they swoop, be gang, go shoot, spit on your block in a red eye. Gators get tough, bitch, I can't die. Excuse me, your honor, I'm gon' lie. We killing switch sides, call me the answer like AI. We sell them and fly out to Dubai. I'm rocking this true fly. When it gonna trap and I don't.
The 2600 block of South Moore Boulevard in the 3rd Ward is where the LFD, Left for Dead, clique is located. They are part of the 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips. One of their rappers is named LFD Pooty.
I say PG and PC. What is PG and PC?
PG, that's the problem gang though. We started get my partner Big Bad died. With PC, that's what brothers like, yo, PC.
So it's basically the same thing, it's just
really the same thing. With the brothers PC, they problem child, you feel me? Problem child, problem gang. All of us is a problem though. We start this Big Bad, you know, when we always start this here when we say Big Bad.
Problem Gang, PG, and Problem Child, PC, are groups from the 3rd Ward that started after a friend of theirs passed away. The members come from different parts of the ward, but they all represent bottom block of 3rd Ward and are considered the younger version of 103. Winfrey Block is a set of 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips located around Winfrey Drive.
Yeah, that's right. We talked with the grandparents of Ghost, who they say his real name is Nicholas Essene. They are obviously very upset about this. Essene and Kenny Lou, who we have learned through sources, his real name is Kenyon, Tennessee, were actually shot and killed in a Mercedes-Benz behind Club Onyx around 4:30 this morning, and police are still searching for their killers tonight.
A wrecker tows away the Mercedes-Benz Nicholas Essene and Kenyon, Tennessee were found shot to death in. The back and side windows shattered. Police telling Eyewitness News 2 suspects came up to the car from behind, firing as many as 13 shots. ultimately killing the two inside.
It appears very targeted shooting.
Answers after two aspiring Houston rappers were found dead inside a car. Well, we're learning about one of the victims.
That victim identified as Nicholas Esane. Now his family is talking to Channel 2. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Keith Garvin.
And I'm Lauren Freeman. We've been following the case all day. It happened overnight at the parking lot of a strip club on Bering and Richmond in southwest Houston. That's where our Brittany Jeffers is live with more details now. Brittany?
Yeah, homicide detectives say that the shooting happened here in the parking lot around 4:30 in the morning. And now family members are saying they want to know who did this and why. A talent taken too soon.
It's just hard to fathom.
Brenda Harris says that her grandson, Nicholas Esane, and his friend died inside of this silver Mercedes. She says that Nicholas was a rising artist in the Houston music scene.
The 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips are based in the Jarmees Apartments, which some people call Jurassic Park. Many members of Scoot Up, previously known as Bobby Gang or just BG, are from here. One of their main rappers, BG Kenny Lou, was tragically killed in late 2018 along with another rapper named Ghost.
Known as OMB Bloodbath, she was very surprised when she was taken into custody inside a Harris County courtroom and then led into a holding area. Only our cameras were there as Nix was arrested by bailiffs and taken to that holding area in the court. Now, according to court documents we've reviewed, Nix is charged with directing activities of certain criminal street gangs. These are felony charges. According to those documents, Nix is accused of unlawfully as part of an identifiable leadership of a street gang, namely 100% 3rd Ward and 103, knowingly did finance, direct, and supervise the commission of the offense of murder, aggravated assault, and aggravated robbery by members of said criminal street gang. We're told that these charges dates back to an incident that happened in October of 2017. Now, according to police at the time, 4 men with rifles and an assault weapon shot 2 people in the 6800 block of London Street in southeast Houston. The men then crashed their car and proceeded to carjack a woman and her 11-month-old niece in a minivan. Sources telling us that the charges currently filed against Nix are related to that crime that happened.
100% 3rd Ward is a group that has been around for many years. They are located near Texas Southern University in the large CUNY Homes area. Originally, they were known as Brick Boys, BBK, and were part of the Bloods gang before they became 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips. One of their rappers is OMB Bloodbath. Southside Garden City Apartments, also known as 9601 The Bricks, are located in Acre Homes, which is Area 44. This place is mainly home to the 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips, known as UDG, but there are also some 5-9 Pi Ruse members there. The 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips are based on Garfield Street, between Carver Road and Sunny Hill Street.
Let's walk back this way, cause I gotta show y'all some iconic shit, high shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on, we go this way to this open. Yeah, so these apartments right here, this is where my grandma and my Aunt Trish stayed at. So like when my mom do a BI doing their thing and shit like that in the mall, cause they used to boost and shit, then if they take us, we gonna get them caught. You feel me? So back in the day, it used to be HEB, that's a food spot. And I would let them know too, like, yeah, you know, the game ain't cool, but we some fly too. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing about us, like, we gonna jump fly. We gonna jump Judy for sure. So that's where the cream click shit came from. At first it was custom click. You know what I'm saying? We were painting shirts, doing like little airbrush shirts, shoes and shit. And we on this sneaker shit too. Cause like, the Crips that we are, or like the Crips I used to be former member of, you know what I'm saying? We was known as the Dirty Crips. The Crips is gonna rob you, beat you up, kill you, like that.
Investigators say these men were using boxes just like this to ship drugs all the way across the country. What they didn't know is that they were being watched the whole time.
Cream, click, gang, bang.
Rap videos often exaggerate gang life. But in this case, investigators say what you see here is, well, pretty accurate. The Houston-based rapper you see was just arrested, accused of money laundering, delivering marijuana, and organized crime. He denies it in this Twitter video.
He's out here saying organized crime, bro. Organized the music for my album.
That's 26-year-old Amequinem Biosa, stage name Maxo Cream. He's got an extensive criminal history.
doing right, trying to take care of the family.
Investigators say Maxo Cream and 7 other gang members were shipping high-quality marijuana from California to Texas through the mail.
KCG, Cream Click Gang, started in 2006. It mainly includes members from the 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips, but also has members from the Bloods, Conservative Vice Lords, and Black Disciples gangs. The 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips members in KCG also associate with Forum Park Crip. KCG members come from all over the SWAT area of Houston and are known for being influenced by Houston's style of fashion. The group is very diverse, including white, Mexican, and Asian members. They became well known outside of Texas because they were arrested after a music video showing mini guns went viral. Some rappers from KCG include Maxo Cream, KCG Josh, Lindo Cartel, Elmo, and Leroy. Thanks for watching our deep dive into the Hoover Crips of Texas. From their origins in Los Angeles to their expansion across major Texas cities, the Hoovers have made a significant mark on the gang landscape. Their stories, conflicts, and community impact are a testament to the complex dynamics of street gangs in America. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more content like this. If you have any insights or questions, drop a comment below. Stay safe.
At number 9, we have the Bay Mills Crips. Bay Mill Crips, a Crip set that was holding it down in the Scarborough section of Toronto, Canada. They had their base in the Bay Mills housing complex, chilling around Birchmount Road and Shepherd Avenue East. Let's get into it. These guys had long-standing beef going on with another Scarborough Crips crew, the Glendower Crips. The tensions were high and the beef had the streets heating up. And if that ain't enough drama, they also had some past issues with the Chesterloop crew. These dudes were no strangers to conflict, that's for sure. The Bay Mills Crips had some allies in the mix too. They were rolling deep with the guilty crime posse, holding it down together. But as time went on, things took a turn. By the early mid-2000s, the Bay Mill Crips were a thing of the past. Yeah, you heard me right, they were defunct. The game caught up to them and they faded away into history. Number 8, we have the Eglinton West Crips.
Alleged criminal street gang known as the Eglinton West Crips. Early on, our intelligence led us to believe that members of the Eglinton West Crips and their associates were allegedly involved in numerous violent incidents and activities that had plagued our communities over the last 3 years. These incidents include murders, attempt murders, firearms occurrences, including reckless discharges, drug and human trafficking. We also allege that the Eglinton West Crips were involved in extensive gun and drug trafficking networks that spanned the province of Ontario. These networks are alleged to have trafficked large quantities of narcotics, specifically cocaine and fentanyl, to many communities outside the Greater Toronto Area as far away as Thunder Bay.
Here we are talking about the Eglinton West Crips, holding it down in the heart of Little Jamaica, a neighborhood in Toronto, Canada. These cats emerged from the ashes of the Front Page Gangsters, a crew founded by the same local high school buddies back in the 1990s. They were deep on Eglinton Ave West, their stomping ground. Their name, Eglinton West Crips, come from the main road running through their territory. Picture this, their territory stretches from the Keele Street and Eglinton Avenue West area all the way from the east of Caledonia Road to Black Creek Drive in the west. That's their main domain where they call all their shots. They also have some connections. The Newborn Assassins and the 3PG are also allied to this gang. Eglinton West Crips are into some serious street hustling, rivalries, theft, pushing dope, you name it. And they ain't messing around when it comes to firepower. They're known to carry tools and to protect themselves. They don't really have a strict hierarchy, it's more like a fluid membership. But don't let that fool you. They're always ready for violence and action. The Eglinton West Crips have a couple of enemies, such as the VR Troopers, the Trefway Gangster Crips. They're also cool with the 5 Point Generals, which they share a stretch of Eglinton Ave with. And let's not forget the alliance they have with the Southside Gators. And if I'm not mistaken, this gang might be still active. At number 6, we have the Driftwood Crips.
located right by Toronto's York University. The area is a blend of students that commute and live on the beautiful campus, but right outside this hub for academia is a grittier place. Driftwood Avenue runs north to south parallel to Jane Street, started from south from the Jane and Finch Boys and Girls Club at Grand Ravine Drive, all the way up past Finch Avenue, ending in some short blocks away from Shoreham Drive, aka Shore Shot, because you can get shot for sure. The long winding avenue is inhabited with a mix of immigrants from African countries, Asian, South Asian, Latin American, European, and Jamaicans. A statistic that I found showed that by 2002, the area had one of the highest proportion of youth, sole-supported families, refugees and immigrants, low-income earned, and public housing tenants in any community in Toronto. In that same year, 70% of the neighborhood did not have proper indoor plumbing, and blackouts and brownouts were common. I say all that to say that the area was grimy as f.
We're alleging that the Driftwood Crips are operating as a criminal organization with cells that have infiltrated various communities across Ontario into the Sudbury region. They're throughout Saskatchewan, Alberta, and even into BC. Our goal is through these arrests and the prosecution of the parties that are involved in this criminal network that we'll be able to alleviate the threat of violence that has impacted these communities.
The Uptop Driftwood Crips are a large African-Canadian street gang based in the Jane and Finch neighborhood in Toronto, Canada. They are known for their aggressive and violent behavior. The gang primarily operates in the Driftwood Court housing community and the surrounding area around Driftwood Avenue, north of Finch Ave West. The Driftwood Crips are considered the most prominent group among Uptop Crips, with a membership and associate base numbering in the 100. They have a reputation for being aggressive and prone to armed robberies. Additionally, the gang is involved in drug trafficking activities, particularly in the northwest corner of Toronto. The gang's formation was influenced by Jamaican gang culture in the 1980s, when many West Indian immigrants moved from Toronto's inner city to the suburb. Belonging status and potential financial gain from selling drugs or engaging in theft attracted the children of these immigrants to join local gangs. In the early 1990s, the youth in Jane and Finch began identifying themselves as Bloods in response to rival Crip gangs from Rexdale, with whom they clashed at local venues and events. However, a significant conflict emerged within Jane and Finch, specifically between Uptop and Down-Bottom residents. This beef escalated into a full-blown war between Driftwood Court and Grassways, with neighboring neighborhoods choosing sides. The Driftwood Crips were the first gang in Jane and Finch to claim affiliation with the Uptop Crips. The Driftwood Crips have had rivalries with several gangs, including the Southside Connection Bloods, the Lanes Crew, the Aldwick Blood Crew, the Chalk Foam Bloods, the Jungle City Goons, Doomstown Rexdale Crips, the Stovetop Rexdale Crips, the O-Block Rexdale Crips, and 5 Point Generals. They are allied with the Uptop Shoreham Crips, the Uptop G-Side Crips, the Young Buck Killers, the Southside Falstaff Crips, and the Southside Gators Gang. On June 12, 2007, a large police operation called Project Cryptic targeted the Driftwood Crips. It involved hundreds of officers from various police departments, including the RCMP. The raids resulted in the seizure of 30 kilograms of cocaine, along with hashish oil, marijuana, and weapons. The operation also led to the arrest of 6 workers from Toronto's Pearson International Airport, who were allegedly assisting the Driftwood Crips in importing drugs and weapons from the USA. At number 5, we have the Tan Ridge Rexdale Crips. The Tan Ridge Crips are a street gang that originated in the late 1990s in the Tan Ridge Crescent housing complex in Thistletown, Rexdale, in northwest Toronto, Canada. They were influenced by other Crip gangs in Rexdale, particularly from Jamestown. This gang is known for its roaming nature and territorial claims. In the year 2000, a feud between the Jamestown Crips and Mount Olive Crips started, and neighborhoods in Rexdale had to choose sides. The Tan Ridge Crips and Jamestown Crips were both implicated by the Aldwick Blood Crew in the death of one of its members. This led to a series of retaliatory shootings orchestrated by the Aldwick Blood Crew against both Jamestown and Tan Ridge Crescent. To unite against their common enemy, the Aldwick Blood Crew, the Tan Ridge Crips adopted the Rexdale Crips identity and began participating in conflicts alongside the Jamestown Crips. Their turf is primarily focused on the Tan Ridge Crescent community, but it also includes a stretch of Albion Road and the surrounding areas. Members of the Tan Ridge Rexdale Crips can be identified by their presence for royal blue or gray attire. They either currently reside or have previously lived on Tamarish Crescent. The gang has a diverse racial makeup consisting mainly of African, Canadian, Ethiopian, Somalian, and Caribbean youth and young adults. Their main rivals include Dixon City Bloods, Hardwick Blood Crew, the Young Buck Killers, and the Mount Olive Crips. That's the story of the Tamarish Rest. One, we got the Uptop G-Side Crips. The Uptop G-Side Crips, also known as the G-Siders, are a territorial street gang that originated in the Jane and Finch neighborhood in North York, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The gang is believed to have been formed in the late 1990s by a group of high school friends. Their name is derived from the Gosford neighborhood within Jane and Finch, where many of their members have resided. Members of the G-Siders identify with the Uptop Crips card, along with the Uptop Driftwood Crips and the Uptop Shoreham Crips. However, each group operates independently from one another. The G-Siders have been implicated in various criminal activities, including attempted murder, firearms trafficking and importation, drug trafficking, robberies, shootings, prostitution, and other offenses. The G-Siders often collaborate with another gang that claims affiliation with the Uptop Crips, known as the Young Buck Killers. Both gangs operate in the Gosford Boulevard and Driftwood Avenue area, with one group located west of Jane Street and the other east of it. The Uptop G-Side Crips has several rivals, including the Southside Connection Bloods, the Lanes Crew, the Y Block Bloods, the Doomstown Rexdale Crips, and the Tamarish Rexdale Crips. On December 14, 2011, the G-Siders and the Young Buck Killers were the targets of a 7-month investigation called the Project Marvel. The operation led to approximately 60 arrests across Canada, with over 900 officers executing 67 search warrants in Ontario.
People were arrested following the 11-month investigation called Project Fox. Toronto police say the people arrested, including those from Hamilton, are involved with the longtime Toronto street gang, the Jamestown Crips. Toronto police began an investigation into a Rexdale street gang known as the Jamestown Crips in September of last year.
We decided to focus on a gang that's historically, well established in the Rexdale neighborhood. That neighborhood is experienced, a disproportionate amount of violent crime that's associated to gangs.
Police allege numerous affiliates have been involved in the illegal possession of firearms and have engaged in trafficking illicit drugs in Ontario and across provincial borders to Manitoba and Newfoundland and Labrador.
I know Blurdy. I know this kid here. I know one of the Somalian kid that got shot. I don't know his name exactly. Shook got shot. The kid that got shot run by the school over by Martin Grove, I know that kid too. So we got 5, 6 there, and there has been a bunch of them. I can't recall their name exactly. But
nobody ever shot at you?
They have never shot at me, but they have threatened me. It doesn't sleep. 24 hours a day, guys are in and out of alley doing their drug activity. This is the headquarters, basically, for most of the gangsters. Doomstone is basically, it's a burial ground. It's a close word to tombstone. This is a burial ground, and if you don't come here and join the gang, if you don't with what they're with, you're doomed. That means you're dead, man. So it's either you're with it or you're against it. For you to be in here, you has to be a gangster. I said that last shooting around there, because the last shooting was behind there. So in this, if you're not a gangster around here, you don't fit in.
The Jamestown Crips emerged in the early 1990s and have since established a significant presence in the Rexdale neighborhood of Toronto. Their primary territories include Oppington Crescent, also known as O Block, Stovetop, and Jamestown Crescent. The Jamestown Crips have been influential in the Toronto gang culture for many years and are known for their ongoing conflict with the Driftwood Crips, a rivalry that has spanned decades. Both the Jamestown Crips and the Driftwood Crips are widely regarded as two of the most formidable gangs in the city's West End. The Driftwood Crips are a Crip gang that originated in the early 90s. The Driftwood Crips originate from the Jane Finch neighborhood in the north area of Toronto. The Driftwood Crips are well known for their musical talent in the Toronto rap scene for years since the start of Toronto rap, with rappers like Chucky Akans, Robin Banks, Pressa, and more all coming from Driftwood. They're also known as Vossi Gang in tribute to their fallen soldier Kwesi Vossi Skinny Peters, who was fatally shot during a shootout with the police. The Driftwood Crips are still active to this day. They are known as the most hated in the West, and also one of the most feared gangs in the West End. The Tandridge Crips are a Crip gang that emerged in the late 1990s to early 2000s. They originated from the Tandridge Crescent community housing townhomes and apartments located in the southwest corner of Rexdale, with 75 Tandridge Crescent serving as their main base. The Tandridge Crips played a significant role in Toronto's rap scene during its early days, with artists like G-Lock and Jeezy representing the neighborhood. However, due to factors such as incarceration and the loss of members, the Tandridge Crips have been largely inactive for several years.
In two murders related to a Crips gang in South Fulton called the Shady Park Crips. Now, the Shady Park Crips are real. They are involved in, like, violence. But I can't figure out which murder we're talking about or how Gunna might be involved. I can't find the agency that's investigating that because it's not the South Fulton Police. They have categorically denied knowing anything about a connection between Gunna and their Neighborhood Crip crew. Like they...
SPC, sometimes referred to as NBT or simply Robin Hood, is a clique of rolling 60s neighborhood Crips that formed in the 2010s in the Pointer Ridge Creole Park, also known as Shady Park, located in South Fulton near Flat Shoals Road and Old National Highway. Since 2016, SPC had been affiliated with YSL after signing Gunna, with several SPC members joining YSL and vice versa. However, following the YSL RICO case and the snitching allegations against Gunna, SPC has seemingly distanced itself from YSL. Now, SPC continues to rep their neighborhood set, though it remains unclear whether the two groups are in conflict or if YSL's issues are solely related to Gunna. Notable
Jersey don't love you. You get no money in my state. You get no money in my state. This your boy Cash Detroit. Baby Luke, 103rd, Jordan down. We got a message. We Jersey. We got an issue for you, Chief.
Your ass, but dig, man. I'm here down here with the homeboy Cali and shit. Paper Trail Records, this is what we doing, man. Tax G just left. We had Sub-Zero down here, man. This is what we doing, man. You already know, man. But we about to spit something.
Federal agents arrested Corey Hamlin, the leader of the Grape Street Crips, along with 3 other alleged gang members. The indictment, which has 28 counts, charges Hamlin with conspiracy to commit racketeering, violent crimes in aid of racketeering, drug trafficking, and other crimes. This morning, the FBI also arrested 3 associates of Hamlin who were involved in the trade at the Pennington Court housing complex, which is located in the Ironbound section of this city.
We still wasn't screaming, you know what I'm saying, the Grape Street. Then we were still, I'm saying, Deuce, and then we linked up with the homies from higher. Now that's how we met the homies from down there.
Right.
Because he knew it was Crips down there. We didn't even know it was another
set that was Crips.
A set of Crips in Jersey.
Right, right.
We thought we was the only ones because we was catching all heat.
Right, right.
We was catching, bruh. We was just catching heat from everywhere.
The history of the Grape Street Crips in New Jersey is a compelling narrative of migration, adaptation, and evolution. Originally stemming from the East Side Grape Street Watts Crips in Los Angeles, California, this gang has established a notable presence across the United States, particularly in New Jersey. The transition from the streets of Los Angeles to the diverse urban landscapes of New Jersey marks a significant chapter in the history of gang culture in America. This introduction dives into the origins of the Grape Street Crips, tracing their roots back to the 1970s in the Watts area, their growth under various leaders, and their eventual spread to New Jersey. The journey highlights how the gang adapted to new environments and expanded its influence, setting the stage for the complex dynamics that define its current state in New Jersey.
Everything, they know what's going on.
Everything. Let me see the front. Let me see the front. Yeah.
40. Hey. 40. Used to be broke, saying I ain't the majority. Gotta go back. People looting. I promise you that. But nothing but poor people. They don't have no opportunity. I'm willing to die for the brothers. I'm willing to die with the black thing. You know? Why are you saying that? Because these our people? No, it ain't because these my people. It's because
We ain't got no rights here.
The East Side Grape Street Watts Crips are a mainly African-American gang located in the Watts area of southeast Los Angeles, California. They are based in the Jordan Downs public housing. In the 1970s, this area was known as Watts Barrio Grape, WVG, and the gang included both Mexican and black members. Around 1973, the black members started a group called the Jordan Down Crips, founded by a guy named Pee Wee. By 1976, they changed their name to Grape Street Crips under the leadership of Kenneth Crode. At that time, the Grape Street Crips, which were the black members, and the Watts Barrio Grape, the Mexican members, worked together closely. This strong partnership lasted until the early 1990s. The Mexican members started calling themselves Southside Watts Barrio Grape Street, and the black members were known as East Side Watts Barrio Grape or East Side Grape Street Crips. Around 1986 or 1987, a new group of younger black members formed called East Side Watts Baby Loc Crips. In 1992, when Mexican gangs in Los Angeles joined together under the Serrano Group, influenced by the Mexican Mafia, the Mexican members began to separate themselves from the black members. They are the biggest Crip neighborhood in Watts and the second largest African-American gang in the area, just after the Bounty Hunter Bloods. The territory of the East Side Grape Street Watts Crips stretches from 97th Street in the north to 107th Street in the south, and from Wilmington in the west to Alameda in the east. Besides wearing blue, which is typical for Crips, they also wear purple to represent Grape.
No arsenal, but I've been burning up the city. Get us out the projects that we living in. What? Police trying to get us out the projects that we living in.
Big Gosley gone on the passer. Exotic son, my master. 3, 2, 1, take off. Gotta tell my buddy. Get muddy. That don't love me, better not trust me. How could I not be busting? I'm on the drugs for nothing. Catch him, we rush him.
FVG is a Grape Street set from Georgia King Village known for having rappers like Bendels FVG, B Greedy, Baby Kane, Menace FVG, and B Kagans. They have disagreements with other groups like 200, DBN, Seth Blocc, and some Mod Pyru sets nearby. They are friends with South Streets and 5BLK.
Got it looking like glue. Grape Street because that's all I knew. But I'm in BT, so don't act like being cool.
So no, I don't stretch. When 2G's drop, police getting stretched. I see my big boy under the set. He's still an equal and treating them less. You don't want to see us at the front of your house. No, you don't want to see GD hopping out. I told him get you, you X'd out. Got an XD 45 under my couch.
Started from the bottom, now we here. These goals on my feet, you ain't got them, cause they red. This watch on my wrist, make it
280. Grape Street set, located at 6th Avenue and 5th Street, is known for rappers like Big Moose, Rocco 280, Shooter 280, Skrilla 280, and Gad Gang. They have conflicts with Aspires, Grafton, ODV, and DDH, who used to be their friends.
We in Newark, New Jersey right now. Where my hood was at, we was in Irvington. It's Newark. It's one of the roughest hoods in Newark. This the shit. This the neck of the neck. This where you don't come. This where you don't step foot at late night.
Down here in Pennington with the homie, Fat Boy, SSC.
Yeah, they scared to pass this bridge, man. We know why though. But it's alright though. We ain't tripping. But man, down bottom boys, man.
Down bottom, east side. The homie J Love, Rax Love in the building.
Y'all already know we in the building that drop TV here. Yeah.
PCG is a set from the Grape Street Crips based in Pennington Court. South 9th is a Grape Street Crips set located on South 9th Street. Proville is a Grape Street Crips set based in the Aspen River Park Apartments. William is a Grape Street Crips set located on William Street. Plaz is a Grape Street Crips set located in Essex Plaza. EA Sports, a Grape Street Crips set from Elizabeth Avenue, are connected with RLS and have conflicts with Captown and Cheesty FN. C&B is a Grape Street Crips set located at the intersection of Norfolk Street and Hartford Street. RVC, also known as Chop World, is a Grape Street Crips set located in Millard Terrell Homes. Ellis Island, a Grape Street Crips set from Hopkins Place and Ellis Avenue, includes the rapper Arsenal. They have conflicts with groups like Cheesty FN, SBLK, and KBLK. They are connected with Kent, RLS, Jungle Boys, Bun Bit, and Mun BLK. The Wainwright Grape Street Crips set is located at Wainwright Street and Lyons Avenue. Winona is a set of the Grape Street Crips located in Winona Littman Gardens. Oscar Miles is a Grape Street Crip set from Oscar Miles Village.
Figure you just might be on the news. Once the face coming, they hunting for you. And them pics that you spurging, they use it as proof. You wanna step with the steppers, then bet that. Where he from, we gon' slide where it's set at. Catch him like an ain't where it's test at.
Bundles, we need you back in the mix. We need you back on the 6. Fresh home back, move with sticks. They know I'm ready, but I don't know Nelly. We lunatic.
South Street's the original ABG's Grape Street set, located at 16th Street and 15th Avenue. They are known for rappers like Ted Bindles and Jet Ski Flea. They have conflicts with 200, DBN, and the mob pyro groups nearby. They are associated with Woodland, 8BLK, FVG, and Izzy.
I'm sorry with him, hop in the car and I'm going to get him. They ain't with shit, we gon' spend on they members. Bro got hit in his arm, trying to run for the rescue. Where's you going? You know we gon' catch you. Down, I got shot like a zebra. Pull up on him and blow out his speaker.
R2G, a Grape Street Crip set from Goodwin Avenue and Renner Avenue, feature rappers like Chucky. They have disputes with groups like EA, CAB, MUN BLK, VSG, Tease, Cake Blocc, and NCC. They have connections with LA and Oscar Miles.
Gotta get the phone. Told mom Deuce I'ma make it out the trenches with a guy. I'ma be the one.
Back my pass my tool. We're rubbing them days with me. G do like a few rookies. New 38, no 38, baby. Glock got that being that crazy stuff.
Shyest Blocc, a Grape Street Crip set, based around Mapes Avenue, Bergen Street, and Lyons Avenue, are home to rappers like Bandman Rill, BBG Steppa, Deuce, and Shotgun Shuge. They have conflicts with groups such as Broom, Bun Bet, RLS, Tease, EA Sports, and Ellis Island. They are associated with Fairview, 200, SBLK, Seth BLK, and DBN.
Hey, yo, man, big EBK.
That's all, man. Free hire.
Yeah. Yo, what's good? Cut it on. Yeah, I'm looking rough right now. I don't even trip though. About the month to get right next video, I'm gonna pop out. Y'all looking crazy, you heard. This is just a sneak peek, man. I'm in the belly of the beast. That rap about you. I'm really in it for real. Sound like to a giant, you heard.
It's cool cause the feds on the phone. 14 hours trying to get him gone. I never could leave it again. Old just rapping. Get gone. He wants to kill me over.
You know me and my shoe face. I like FNs and I like costumes. Just don't got no safe. You know me and my shoe face. I like FNs and I like costumes. Just don't got no safe.
Hyatt, a Grape Street Crips set from Hyatt Cord, include rappers like EBK 187, Bang Out Hyatt, and LG Hyatt. They have conflicts with groups like 8BLK, SSG, FVG, Deuce Boys, 15th, and Cake Blocc. They are connected with 200, Tay BLK, Seth BLK, and other parts of DBN. This group is considered one of the most dangerous in the city, with several members involved in serious incidents with their rivals. The Grape Street Crips have significantly shaped the gang dynamics within their territories, marked by a series of alliances and rivalries that underscore the volatile nature of street gang affiliations. The intricate web of relationships, both nurturing and contentious, outlines the survival strategies within the harsh realities of gang life. As the group continues to evolve, their impact resonates not only through their immediate communities, but also in the broader narratives of urban gang culture. The continuous changes within such groups, influenced by both losses and new affiliations, underscore the fluid and often precarious existence of street gangs.
That block with Drake and threw 30 in that whip. They spoke on my name.
The Organ Project Crips are embroiled in disputes with several groups within various Bloods factions. They maintain alliances with 1000 TG, Hustle Boys, Gutter Boys, Boss Hogs, and 3G Sosa World. Representing them in the music scene are rappers 264 Quez and 752 Horse, who contribute to the group's cultural and social identity.
The other like 50, now that's a Rollin 60. You know the kid crippin', click on what I'm sippin'. I might just get the jittin', throw the ass a little hard, I might just get the tippin'.
The Rollin 60 Neighborhood Crips are based in the area around East Jefferson, particularly within the Jefferson, Chalmers neighborhood. Among their ranks is the notable rapper Big Baby Ran, who represents this group within the music scene. The 6 Mile 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips are an influential gang operating actively in their namesake territory. Their primary conflicts involve the nearby band gang, as well as any other gangs that affiliate themselves with the number 5. Interestingly, despite their territorial designation, they do not align themselves under the number 6. Additionally, they have formed an alliance with the neighboring Rolling 60s, further solidifying their presence and network within the gang landscape of the area. The East Warren Crips represent the foundational core among various EWC factions spread across the Warren area. This group stands as a pioneering force within the Crip movement that pervades East Warren, comprising members from subsets such as the Playboy Gangster Crips and the Black Gangster Disciples. They are particularly known for their intense rivalry with the neighboring 60s gang and maintain disputes with any groups aligned with the number 5. Initially, the EWC had alliances with other Warren-based cliques, although over time, these allied groups have dissolved, leaving the EWC as a prominent force in the area.
We're cheering this news of the Playboy Gangster Crips gang being taken down from this West Side neighborhood. It's a big deal, and the original reason why the ATF went into that neighborhood in the first place is all about a 3-year-old little girl being shot.
These are images of an ATF roundup Thursday of a street gang operating on Detroit's West Side. The reaction from people living here on Trinity Street sounds like this.
Lord have mercy. I'm so happy that they did that, make it safe for my grandbaby.
14 members of a gang calling itself the Playboy Gangster Crips have been busted for murder, armed robbery, carjacking, gun sales, drug pushing, each member with their own gang name like Shady Blue, Havoc, and Danger.
Well, at one point, they were one of the most violent gangs on the streets of Detroit.
The Playboy Gangster Crips didn't just settle scores. They targeted children and bragged about all of it online.
Dive into the world of the Playboy Gangster Crips, also known as the Treys or the 33rd Gangsters, a set that commands respect and fear in equal measure. The name O33 Sav gang pays tribute to a legendary figure within their ranks, Savage, also known as Tony Bands. Despite his GD affiliation, Savage's fearless nature earned him unparalleled respect across the set, embodying the true spirit of what they stand for. This set, riding under the 6, showcases an unbreakable bond among its members, a testament to their resilience and unity, even in the face of adversity, including significant legal challenges that threaten their very existence. The Playboy Gangster Crips stand tall. Their HUD remains a hive of activity, a clear signal that their spirit remains unbroken. 7-mile Rolling 60s Crips stand as a testament to resilience and tenacity in the face of adversity. Nestled on 7 Mile, this relatively small set has carved out a reputation for its formidable nature, holding its ground amidst a sea of larger, formidable rivals. For years, they've maintained control over their territory, a remarkable feat considering the pressures from surrounding groups. Recently, however, tensions with the Playboys have begun to test their stronghold, revealing vulnerabilities in what seemed an impenetrable front. Intriguingly, this set distinguishes itself by not aligning with the traditional 6 affiliation, a rarity that adds a layer of complexity to their identity within the broader gang landscape.
Rolling 40s Crips, also known as the Rolling 40s Neighborhood Crips, are an African-American street gang that originated on the west side of Phoenix, Arizona, in the Maryvale district. The gang expanded to Arizona from Los Angeles in the 2010s and is part of the Rollin Crips, falling under the Neighborhood Crips umbrella. Their combined territory spans from 51st Avenue to 39th Avenue, between Thomas Road and McDowell Road. Known as one of the most ruthless street gangs in Maryvale, the Rollin 40s have solidified their reputation through their territorial dominance and criminal activities. The Rolling 40s are allied with the West Side City Crips and Park South Neighborhood Crips. Their rivals include the South Vista Gangster Bloods, Front Street Gangster Bloods, and all who
get boxed, put him in a coffin. I don't even like the flex. When a nigga do it, yeah, I do it often. I don't even like the flex. She told me to stop, but stop. Keep going, move up, get shot.
SBL is primarily an 8 Tray Gangster Crip neighborhood located on Hillside Avenue in the Clifton section of Staten Island. They are part of the 719 Drill Squad Alliance, along with 700 and OTA. They have conflicts with the Baghdad and HG alliances, as well as Stapleton. Notable members include Jay Branch, Smoothy Smooth,
LB rest in peace, Miller rest in peace, Castro rest in peace, Jackie rest in peace, and many more.
For one, we have Monetary, or Railway.
Every man now free blue, free fluff. Off the 48, down 4, down 8. Don't play, cause you know I'm down old, down wild.
30 stick in my pants, so don't ask me to diss me. You know I might do my see blue bob. Hello, Bendo, bitch, or the sister, I thought my fucker the next time he diss me.
Railway or Monetary is a part of the DOA Alliance and is a diverse set predominantly comprising of members of the Rolling 80s Crips along with a few from Baby's Crips, Sex Money Murder, and Wildcard 90s. This group represents a blend of various affiliations within the gang landscape. In terms of alliances, Monetary or Railway has formed strong bonds with several sets, including 6 Block, Southside, Third Side, Slattery, Kingsbridge, and Fifth to the Sev. Some sets that Monetary beef with: 800 G's, Money Well, Drilly Gang, Double G, Sugar Hill, LV, The Mitch, and Flybridge. Notable members in the Monetary gang include C Blue, Set the Trend, and Molly B.